team. Advanced Hair has performed tens of thousands of these breakthrough treatments, and get this, your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day. No one in Chicago can offer anything like the Advanced FUE offered by the world-class team at Advanced Hair. It starts with your free consultation. Call 872-217-HAIR. If you qualify, you'll also get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that's redefined hair restoration. Call 872-217-HAIR or go to advancedhair.com.
It sounds like a crow.
Caw!
No. Ka, then sa, followed by sa.
Ka-sa-sa?
Good. All together now. Kasasa. You've got it. Now get it.
Kasasa!
Exactly. Kasasa Cash is a free checking account at Lakeside Bank. It has a great interest rate. And with the interest I earned this month, I'm taking you out tonight.
Kasasa.
That's Kasasa Cash at Lakeside Bank. Free checking, great interest. Lakeside Bank. It's about time. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
This segment is brought to you by Amazon.
This Prime Day, July 8th through the 11th, you can get a great deal on a new foot spa, transforming you into the queen of kicking it.
Wait, this has bubble jets. Okay.
Shop great deals this Prime Day, July 8th through the 11th.
Why call two men in a truck? If you're like most people, you're moving and you work hard. You've got lots of stuff and no time to move it. You need pros.
Now, representing the organization, Jim Leland and AJ Hinch are presenting Miggy with a customized set of cleats made by renowned artist Marco Terzo, made from several significant baseballs from Miguel's career. The cleats are presented on a base representing the time he spent at both third and first base in his career.
Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025. Right now, for a limited time, you can lease the Hyundai Tucson for $259 a month or get $1,750 bonus cash. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end July 7th. Call 224-661-0068 for details.
Hey folks, Coom here. Chicago summers. They get hot, sweat through your shirt before first pitch, That's when you reach for Flight by Yingling. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, light, crisp, refreshing enough to cool you down faster than a lake breeze. Whether you're at the ballpark, grilling out, or just beating the Midwest heat, Flight's your go-to. Flight by Yingling, official beer of the Cubs radio network. Now that's a refreshing call. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
This is the official radio home of the Chicago Cubs.
Cubs win! Cubs win the ball game!
Listen to every game here on Sports Radio 670 The Score. And always live on the free Odyssey app. Broadcasting live from the Hyundai Studios. Presented to you in part by your local Hyundai dealers. WSCR Chicago. WBMX HD2 Chicago. And Odyssey Sports Station.
The Score!
And now it's time to kick back and enjoy the best of the score.
Hey, Nico, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm out here in the dugout in St. Louis. It's hot out, but it's nice. Good day.
What is your least favorite city to visit on the road, and why is it St. Louis, Nico?
I like this series from a baseball perspective.
That's a very solid.
It's a great ballpark. Like, the games here are awesome. It's just it's a cool place.
Nico, let's talk about the Heat And what, look, baseball's played in the spring, summer, and fall. We get it. There's going to be heat. But the stuff that was going on with the wind and the heat this weekend at Wrigley was oppressive. So what are the steps that you take to get yourself ready when you know you're playing in crazy elements like that?
Yeah, the weekend was really a strange series. I mean, we see the extremes at Wrigley for sure, and whether it's a cold series in April or the wind blowing in, but that's about as extreme as you'll ever see of the ball carrying. And, obviously there were so many homers and some balls that wouldn't have been home runs normally, but also just the extra outs that, we didn't record just because of conditions, and, no excuses because both teams are in the same place. But usually I feel like that's to our advantage just because Wrigley is weird, but that weirdness usually I feel like is on our side. But it didn't work out that weekend.
Do you feel like this is a down moment for the team? The record might say so. Some of the numbers say so, but it's also just a long-ass baseball season and stuff like this happens. So that's kind of the starting point for where we sort of address the team and the state of things. Where are you on it as of right now?
We're about 500 on the month, right?
Yep.
I think so. We haven't played as well lately. I think there's been just kind of some opportunities missed on offense, and it's hard to even evaluate the pitching so much after the conditions those guys just threw in this past weekend. But it hasn't been as synced up. But then you look at the month as a whole, and 500 in the month, and obviously that's not what you set out to do. But there's going to be challenging stretches, parts of every year that don't go as well. So I think this group has the capacity to obviously go on crazy hot streaks like we've seen, but also I think our floor is really high just with the variety of things that we do well. So it's never what you set out to do, but also acknowledging there's going to be hard parts of every year and just responding as best you can.
I think you're right about that floor because of the way that you guys play defense, the way that you run the bases, the way that the bullpen has been overall. I wonder if St. Louis is another one of those teams with like a high floor, and their ceiling's probably lower than you guys, but they seem to do some things pretty well over there. We're trying to figure out if they're any good. They're decent at just about everything, it seems.
Yeah, it's a solid ball club. I mean, it's always, we were talking before this about this, but just the strange to not see them until, 75, 80 games in the season, wherever we're at now. And obviously you pay attention to the teams in your division from afar, but it's a different feeling getting to play each other. And I mean, you guys know better than anybody, but the season is such a story of different parts of the year, and even things from April now feel like so long ago. So when it comes to, playing teams in division, especially the other best teams in the division, it feels like you would want to match up at each part of the season and kind of feel that story alongside the other teams. Obviously scheduling is never going to be perfect, but it does seem pretty extreme how this one worked out.
When I used to host the David Ross show, one of the famous quotes is, Nico Horner is hardwired to kick your ass every day. Because it's a long season, where was the point in your career where you learned to lean into the long seasonness of baseball versus being disgruntled or gruntled even about a loss or things that happened inside of a loss on an individual night?
Yeah, I think from an individual perspective, 22 was a big year for me, just learning how to play over a course of a full season, because I knew I was capable of skill set wise in the major leagues, but I think mentally and physically I hadn't really done the full thing yet. So that year was really big for me and set me up to be more consistent in the future. And then 2023 from a team perspective was my first time really being in it for a whole season. And, obviously we were right there with the Diamondbacks at the end of the year, and it went sideways, but I think gave me a healthier perspective on just kind of team energy throughout a season. And so, it's a fine line because, you go process, but then at a certain point you got to put your foot down with things. And, there's no perfect way to do it, but I think our group has had great communication and standards throughout that, make the good times possible and then also make the bad times shorter, I think.
Nico, a really good article written about you by Sahadev Sharma, our friend over at The Athletic. And there's There's a bunch of really good stuff in there. You mentioned 2022. By outs above average, there's no better second baseman in the National League since 2022 than Nico Horner. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's 4 years. That's 4 years of data as a defensive second baseman. But I don't know if you saw the article, but some wonderful quotes from Jameson Taillon about you and Carson Kelly about you. Just everything that you bring as a teammate and a player. So it's pretty cool. I don't know if you read it, but it's nice to have your teammates notice what you bring, I would think.
Yeah, that is sweet. No, I haven't read it. My dad used to send me stuff when things were written about me, and even nice things. I kind of told him to stop at a certain point. But yeah, I haven't read that, but the things that really matter are usually said by your peers, like the things that really, feel good, and they're the ones that are with you through all of it. And so that's nice to hear. And we have a pretty tight knit group that makes this season a lot more manageable, and the good times more fun, and the tough times a little more manageable. So yeah, I appreciate those guys.
Is telling your dad not to send stuff, is that part of staying either gruntled or disgruntled? Is that part of it?
So this is MLB Network Talent Stars. Okay. The stars of MLB Network. Can I trade a pack of these for a signed Lauren Shahadi card?
How about we do a little bit of both? A little money, a little trade.
Will you open it up and see if you like it?
They're really nice.
If I sign it, does that equal the Lauren Shahadi 20?
All right.
Do we have a good trade?
We have a good trade. Thank you so much. That was fun.
Nice doing business with you.
Stottlemyre still wants somebody. There's Randy Johnson, the big unit. He towers over everybody. Randy's got to change his cap.
Oh, jeez. There you go. That looks better. Get that D-backs hat on, Randy.
Already with a run in that inning, but did not score after that. A double play ball ended the inning, and then St. Louis really got on a roll. So hopefully today that script will flip, and the Cubs will be able to bang the ball around. The ball should be carrying again tonight. Very hot here in St. Louis. And once again, Z, the wind blowing out.
All right, so let's get to it. Time now for the keys to the game. Sponsored by Heat and Frost Insulators and the Illinois Regional Insulation Contractors. Visit local17insulators.com and by Toyota. Visit your Chicagoland Toyota dealer or toyota.com today. Veteran right-hander Jameson Taillon goes for the Cubs, Coom, while rookie right-hander Michael McGreevy throws for the Cardinals.
Yeah, we'll see. This will be one of those ball games for J-Mo in his last start, not his best start of the year. He had been on a real roll for the Cubs and pitched great. Last outing, gave up 8 hits in 4 runs against Milwaukee, 5 runs. Just didn't have command and not out of the zone, in the zone. He made some pitches in the middle of the plate and just paid the price for him. You're bound to, out of 10 or 11 starts, that was one clunker that he had. and it wasn't terrible, but just not what we've been seeing from J-Mo. Hopefully today that will change. And now for McCreevy, he's a young guy. He's, kind of like Brownie was yesterday. Cubs can get to him early. You see what happens with him. But good two-seam fastball, good sinker, and a good slurvy breaking ball. But he's got a bunch of pitches. We will see how it goes for him. He does not walk any hitters. Now it's time for the Bet365 bet of the game. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app today. And the money line today for the Cubs is -115. The Cubs are, giving a run and a half again today. They're -1.5, but the bet is +145. And the over-under today, Z, is the over at 8.5, -120 for the Cubs.
Coom, thank you. As you mentioned earlier, sunny, 90 degrees, perfect hitting conditions. Coming up, the Home Run King, next on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Listen for great Cubs guests all season long on The Score, official radio home of the Cubs.
Future You is using their rapid rewards for their next vacation. All thanks to present you signing up with Southwest Airlines, where you earn points every time you fly. Because what's the point of points that future you can't use? And since your rapid rewards points don't expire, you can save up for that big trip. Get ready to reward future you with a future flight. Sign up for rapid rewards today and redeem your points on any seat, any day, anytime. Only at Southwest. All rapid rewards rules and regulations apply and can be found at southwest.com/RR terms.
Oh, this Bosch miter saw really is smooth. Feeling smooth. Who said that?
It's your inner Bosch, baby.
I'm that scoobity-bebop smooth feeling you get when you make smooth cuts with that moobity-mibbity-mibbity-mubbity miter saw. So I'll just keep ski-bop sawing then? Now you're getting it.
Beep-bop, beat-up, wow, miter saw is my favorite.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch.
Come see what's cooking in Des Moines, Iowa, where there's something for every taste. The crispy hash browns at Waveland Cafe, a sizzling bacon-glazed pork chop at Oak Park, the snap of a foot-long hot dog at an Cubs game, a 2-foot State Fair lobster roll that has cameras clicking and mouths watering. Hungry yet? Come to Des Moines and try everything. I guarantee you'll come back for seconds. Plan your foodie feast at CatchDesMoines.com, because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent.
It's grilling season. Time to fire it up and share a little grilling wisdom. Step up your grilling game with Hatfield marinated pork tenderloin. Packed with flavor, easy to cook, and perfect for any backyard cookout. Honey garlic teriyaki and savory brown sugar. There's a flavor for everyone, so put some pork on your fork. Visit simplyhatfield.com to find a Meijer near you. Hatfield, better care, better pork.
American Sail has the largest selection of pools, patio sets, hot tubs, and grills. And right now, during the summer celebration sale, you can save up to 50%. American Sail. Bring the fun home.
Talk Cubs baseball and Chicago sports every weekday from 2 to 6 on 670 The Score and the Odyssey app. Cubs in St. Louis. This is the Cubs radio pregame show driven by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Buick and GMC dealers. Time now for the inside pitch. We say good evening to Score baseball insider Bruce Levine.
The story of Seattle's Cal Raleigh continues to astound the baseball world as he hits new plateaus, now becoming the most prolific home run hitter in the game. The switch-hitting Platinum Glove winner from 2024 has 32 home runs on a pace for 67. Mariners manager Dan Wilson, a guest on the Score's Inside the Clubhouse, has trouble finding comps for his catcher.
He just continues to, do incredible things. And when you look at what he does, for us on the defensive side, one of the game's top, elite catchers winning the Platinum Glove last season. Calling a great game behind the plate for our, incredible pitching staff. What he does defensively is impressive. And then you add what he does offensively for us, and it's pretty incredible what he has been able to do.
Zach, Raleigh has homered in 4 straight games, and Cub fans were able to witness his player go deep 4 times in 3 games at Wrigley over the weekend. The home run resonates as the ultimate offensive accomplishment in the game of baseball, and for now, Raleigh is the new Sultan of Swing.
Bruce, thanks. The Cubs take on the Guardians in a 3-game series starting Tuesday, July 1st. Be here for it. Get your tickets at Cubs.com/tickets. Coming up, the Cubs make a move next on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Cubs fans, it's Nico Horner. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs radio network.
There's nothing better than watching the game live. And with Xfinity Sports and News TV, you can stream over 50 live channels for $150 less than YouTube TV per year. From game time to prime time. It's the local channels you love, the news channels you need, and the sports channels you can't live without. History-making moments aren't going to wait for you, and replays never do it justice. So get Xfinity Sports and News TV today for all the live action you could want. Plus, you can save even more with Peacock Premium. A $7.99 a month value included at no extra cost. Xfinity Sports and News TV. The live TV you love with savings you'll love even more. To learn more, go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Savings compares Xfinity Sports and News TV at $70 per month to YouTube TV at $82.99 per month.
Hey folks, Coom here. Chicago summers. They get hot, sweat through your shirt before first pitch hot. That's when you reach for Flight by Yingling. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, light, crisp, refreshing enough to cool you down faster than a lake breeze. Whether you're at the ballpark, grilling out, or just beating the Midwest heat, Flight's your go-to. Flight by Yingling, official beer of the Cubs radio network. Now that's a refreshing call. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
As the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs, Sloan has greeted fans with sustainable restroom products at Wrigley Field for 111 years. And now Sloan is excited to introduce new innovation to Cubs fans throughout the concourse with its brand new bottle fillers to provide clean drinking water while reducing plastic waste throughout the friendly confines. Learn more at Sloan.com and go Cubs go!
Surround yourself in color with Regal Select from Benjamin Moore. Rich, durable, and effortlessly beautiful. Find yours at your locally owned retailer. Visit BenjaminMoore.com today.
All Cubs triples and saves are sponsored by Great Lakes Credit Union, Chicago's credit union. Join GLCU's mission of banking for a greater good at glcu.org. Cubs in St. Louis. This is the Cubs Radio pregame show, driven by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Buick and GMC dealers. Time now to check on who's hot and cold, sponsored by Plumbers 911. Plumbing emergency, call the professionals. Available 24/7 at 1-833-PLUM-911. Michael Busch enters play, hitting .333 over his last 7 games. The cold, Justin Turner 2 for 17 over his last 7. The injury report is sponsored by Illinois Bone and Joint Institute. Visit IBJI.com for locations and services. The Cubs have reinstated reliever Porter Hodge from the injured list. He's back from oblique.
What is something that you snack on that you don't worry about?
I love Uncrustables. I could eat like 10 of them in one sitting.
And no regard for his body? I don't even wait till I thaw out.
Hey, put them in a toaster next time. Just toast it, yep. It'll change your life.
Yeah, just an incredible play by Riley Green. You're an all-star on the field and off, bro.
I appreciate it.
Hey,
thank you.
Riley Green, bro, food genius.
So these is MLB Network talent stars.
Okay.
The stars of MLB Network. Can I trade a pack of these for a signed Lauren Shahadi
How
card?
about we do a little bit of both? Money, a little trade.
Will you open it up and see if you like it?
They're really nice.
If I sign it, does that equal the Lauren Shahadi 20?
All right.
Do we have a good trade?
We have a good trade. Thank you so much. That was fun.
Nice doing business with you.
The hardest part about rehab with that is they tell you to go slow. They tell you to go slow. It's your second Tommy John. Even though my body's feeling good, everything's feeling great, hey, just take it easy. Then all of a sudden, you start throwing to hitters and your live BPs, and they want you to hit a switch. Well, sometimes it just doesn't come back that easy, right? So I think the game action, the game reps in Iowa and then the minor leagues this season, and have helped a lot, and it takes a couple months to get the stuff back. And then obviously pitching yesterday, I don't know why my adrenaline was through the roof. I felt great. Tried to keep it under control in a game situation like that. Just try to throw strikes and get outs and try to get as many outs as I could. But everything's feeling great now.
What's different about you as a pitcher, just having gone through it twice?
Yeah, I think that's the whole point of the rehab process is learning to get your body back in shape to where you were before surgery. I can honestly say I feel I'm at that point. I don't have to go through anything extra strenuous to get the body ready. Feel like I can get hot in the bullpen quick. I've got no limitations, no restrictions. Everything feels great. Knees feeling great, arms feeling great. No complaints there. It's just a matter of trying to find the explosiveness and the timing, mechanics version of everything to get back to where I could be and will be.
What keeps you going? I haven't gone through it, but they say that the rehab world is very lonely.
Yeah, I mean, my wife and my 2 kids have been, amazing and a blessing for me. They've come down I was in Fort Myers all year last year. They came down and hung out over the summer. The kids wanted to go to the pool every day, but having them being able to come stay with me and kind of take my mind off the rehab grind part of it. And, you go into the field, you get your work in, you go work out and do your recovery, and you go home. And it can get lonely sometimes to go home to an empty house or just having some alone time. But luckily, the rehab group I was with is a bunch of good dudes, and obviously my wife and my son and daughter have been through it with me thick and thin. It's just awesome to have them in my life and be a part of it.
I was talking with Drew Pomerantz about something similar because it had been a while before he was back up in the big leagues, and he said what keeps you going is just the ability to compete. You never take that for granted.
Absolutely. He nailed it right on the head. When you're up here and you're in a good groove and you've been here for years, I don't want to say I ever take it for granted, but it kind of becomes part of your routine, and you almost get used to the late game outings, the adrenaline, the bus rides, the travel, the food, all this stuff, and then you go down and rehab for a year and a half, and you realize that things can change quickly. But it's almost just the pursuit of getting back to the big leagues, almost thinking you have to prove something again. It gets me going a little bit more from an injury side of things, and that's why I've always been grateful for the opportunity just to get a chance to go continue out living my dreams.
Was there ever any doubt that you might not be back up?
Oh, always. I think that's, self-doubt is there. There's nothing, it's not worth putting down inside of you. You can talk about it all you want. I had conversations with my wife about hanging them up, and is it worth going through it again? The kids are getting older now. But at the end of the day, it's, the doctors, the trainers, all these people that have invested so much into my career. I think I owe it to them, obviously myself and my wife and kids, to give my best shot to get back up here, and hopefully I can prove that I belong to stay.
I know you've been watching from afar, and now you got a little taste of it last night with this group. What stands out to you?
I think the amount of experience the guys in the bullpen have, and all the veterans. This is the most veteran-oriented group I've been a part of, especially in the bullpen. Played against a lot of these guys for years, played with some of them. It's just a lot of fun to go down there, and everybody knows what it takes to win. Everybody knows their job and what they have to do to go compete and give the team the best chance to win. And I think everybody fits in just well down there. So I can speak on that part of the bullpen and try to get the ball to Plenty at the end of the game. And guys got some unbelievable stuff. Watching him grow, it's been fun.
What's the message that you would give to younger players who are going through some things and trying to fight themselves just to get to this level?
Yeah, I mean, I've had plenty of surgeries. It's the never give up, never quit mentality. Tell yourself that you belong. You owe it to yourself. Go compete elsewhere when you can't compete on the field anymore for injury purposes. Go compete in the weight room. Go compete on your speed. Get bigger, faster, stronger. Find other ways to get better other than why you can't be on the field.
Michael, really appreciate your perspective. Thank you.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
To see all this excitement around what I love to do growing up, it's crazy.
What's your favorite thing about this whole event so far?
The fusion of sports, entertainment, and cards.
That's awesome.
Because to me, cards have always been entertainment, and they're getting their just dessert now.
Here we are, Arlington, Texas. This is the Grand Slam burger. So 2 patties, brisket, caramelized onion, American cheese, ranch aioli, or ranch mayo, if you will.
Oh yeah, we're in Texas.
What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Where do the Cubs shop to celebrate a big win? Binny's Beverage Depot. Binny's is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-761-0000. 800-761-0000. 800-761-0000.
The Chef IQ Sense is a wireless cooking thermometer everyone should have. It eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat to achieve perfection. Order one now on chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
Cubs Cardinals at Busch. Time now to hear from Cubs manager Craig Counsell. Sponsored by the Village of New Lenox, leading the way in residential and economic development. Counsell explains the decision to send right-hander Ben Brown to AAA Iowa.
We have a starter coming back, and I think basically what I told you guys last night. A lot of is there's within your struggles there's growth, and you don't know it at the time that it's happening. But you are getting better, and it's hard to, when you're in the trees, it's hard to see that. And hopefully, you get a little space away from it, and we can help him understand how he's getting better, and then see clearly the things that we've got to get a little better at.
When you're talking about continuing that growth, do you see that as more mental or physical, or?
Well, look, being a professional athlete is always both. So you can always improve in both areas.
Does he need to, while he's down there?
A sartorial issue here. There's the team name, Chicago Cubs, so it does work.
It's got the right color.
Yeah, it's gray.
Maybe there was something went wrong with his other one.
1-1 to Marte, in the air, right to the guy we just showed you.
I believe this one's it's a rookie card, I know, but I feel like it's the first card that I ever
like big league card. Obviously, as a kid, trying to get to the big leagues, the dream of making it. But as a kid that had cards, right, as a kid, this is like seeing your card the first time is pretty cool. So that's pretty powerful when you see that card.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
When it comes to DSPs, usability matters. Some platforms bury you in complexity. Results-driven advertising shouldn't look like a chemistry experiment. Viant's AI-powered DSP streamlines setup, automates measurement and optimization, and keeps you in control. Less clicking, more strategy. And with proven CTV leadership across premium publishers, Viant works smarter and delivers stronger. Why are you still trading on a desk? Visit Viant.ai to unlock real results today.
Dear summer, ready to get your adrenaline pumping? Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. Toyota, let's go places.
Cubs in St. Louis. Who are you banking on? Sponsored by Busey Bank. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. I'm banking on Pete Crow Armstrong, who had 2 doubles last night. He's hitting .302 against right-handed pitchers this season. The pitching matchup is sponsored by Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Enjoy the laid-back experience of Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Veteran right-hander Jamison Tyone going for the Cubs, 7-4.
Cubs fans, Pat Hughes here. Join Ron Coomer, Zach Zaidman, and me for every Cubs game on 670 The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
He drives one in the air, deep left center. Back goes Cruz. It's got a chance. Gone. Home run, Dansby Swanson. High fly ball, deep right field. This ball's got a chance. It is gone for a home run.
And if you live in the Chicago area, also on the free Odyssey app.
This Odyssey Sports broadcast is brought to you by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico.
And now, Odyssey and 670 The Score bring you Chicago Cubs baseball on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Chicago, this is Ian Happ.
Base hit into right. Cubs win the ball game. Ian Happ, a game-winning single.
Hey, it's Nico Horner.
Diving backhand stop by Horner, throws to first to get it. Sensational play.
Hey, it's Kyle Tucker.
Kyle drives one in the air to right field. That ball is gone. It's a 3-run homer. This is what you came in.
and PSA dove in. Do we have them graded?
We do. This is the first set of graded cards from the 2024 Topps MLB Network set.
I'm so excited about this.
Yeah.
Now, they all have the same grade, or
no?
So one of us will be like the highest graded card.
Could be. There could be multiple. So first up, we got Mark DeRosa.
Let's see what D-Rose. Of course, D-Rose a 10 out of 10. Handsome, athletic. All right.
The name of the business is Legacy Catering. We all were talking about how mom taught us all how to cook. She was a cook at the public school system for ages. So we all started cooking with her, so we decided, to do the business, so we went to figure out what we're gonna call it. So we said, let's cook in honor of our mother. So that's what Legacy came in. And just remember that Legacy Catering is about people, and this is what barbecuing is all about, and this is why we love it.
Crow Armstrong in center. PCA, as he is known, is the Cubs cleanup man. Dansby Swanson at shortstop. Michael Bush batting sixth. Bush at first base. Nico Horner at second base. Matt Shaw playing at the hot corner and batting eighth. And batting ninth, Cubs catcher Reese McGuire. Those are the Cubs. Here are the Cardinals. Brendan Donovan leads off at second base. Mason Wynn at shortstop. Alec Burleson batting third and playing in right. Former Cub Wilson Contreras at first base. Contreras, the Redbirds' cleanup hitter. Lars Nootbaar in left. Nolan Arenado batting sixth and playing third base. Nolan Gorman is the designated hitter. Pedro Pajes batting eighth and doing the catching. And batting ninth, center fielder Victor Scott II. There are some Cub fans here. Another surprisingly small crowd. We are accustomed to seeing sellouts virtually every time the Cubs and Cardinals have played here in the last, 25, 30 years? It was not the case last night. 27,000 turned out. This park holds about 45,000 when it's full. And another surprisingly small audience on hand at the outset of this game. We'll get the exact attendance figure for you later on. The umpires, Paul Clemens all ready to call balls and strikes. Ramon De Jesus working at first. Quinn Wolcott, the second base umpire, and Adrian Johnson over at third. We are ready to go. Back to get it underway. One of the great rivalries in all of sports. The Cubs and the Cardinals are next on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Start your mornings with Cubs Talk. Mully and Haw, mornings 5:30 to 10 on The Score.
News today.
And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Illinois. Jesus to apply in app only.
FinishingChicago.com for the industry's best drywall finishing, wall covering, glass systems, signage, and painting contractors. Rely on FinishingChicago.com.
It's game time. Time to crack open a Yuengling. After 196 years, the wait is over. Yuengling is finally available here in Illinois. Look for it at your favorite bar or store. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. And yesterday, Patrick, Cardinals' second half of the game went bombs away. And hopefully tonight, maybe the Cubs can flip that script a little bit and do the same thing to them.
Absolutely. The Cardinals run with their home runs. They had 4 different 2-run homers. They built up a lead of 6-1 by the 5th inning, and it was never really in doubt thereafter. So let's see if the Cubs can play some long ball perhaps tonight and even up this series. Game 2 of what will be a 4-game set. A scorching 93 degrees as the game will start momentarily. Game time temperature sponsored by 4 Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Your trusted local experts, 4 Seasons. Cubs occupy the third base dugout here in Missouri, wearing their traveling gray uniforms, gray shirts and trousers, red numbers on their backs, blue hats and helmets, blue sleeves and socks. Most of the guys wear white shoes these days. The Cardinals in their bright white shirts and trousers, red numbers on their backs, red hats and helmets, red sleeves and socks. And most of their players wear white shoes. Uniform description sponsored by Benjamin Moore. On the field or the walls of your home, the right team and colors make all the difference. Official paint of the Chicago Cubs, Benjamin Moore. Ian Happ ready to step in. Ian without a hit last night in 4 at-bats. Let's see if he can get the Cubs rolling here tonight. Tucker and Suzuki to follow against Michael McGreevy, who has a record of 1-1. Big, strong right-hander rocks and fires the first pitch. In for a strike, run, and away we go. I know you've watched video of Michael McGreevy. What's the Cubs' hitting plan against him?
McGreevy, to me, his best pitch, he's got 2 fastballs, 4-seam, 2-seam. Not a real overpowering guy.
Fastball away.
So he's around the league average with the fastball. 3 different breaking pitches. So to me, he has one that goes across the zone. That's really his best pitch. So to me, it's fastball, slurve type pitch, and changeup. Although the catcher might need both hands to give signals if they gave the old-fashioned signals. I don't know if they have the ability to give like 8 different pitches on that PitchCom device, but that's what he's got.
That's quite a variety, as Happ has a count of 1-2. Here's the pitch to Ian. It's down low, 2-2. Still plenty of streaks of light on the field in right, center, and right. I've noticed that Burleson, the right fielder, holding his glove up to block out the sun on every single pitch. Might be tough for the outfielders here in the early going. Most of the infield is in the shade. Happ gets jammed and fouls it back. All of the infield, except for a few little light spots on the right side of the diamond, all of the infield is in the shade, and most of left is shaded, but center and right, lots of sunshine still. McGreevy, big right-hander, coming back 2-2. Happ drives one in the air, deep center field. Back goes Scott. Near the track, makes the catch. Hard hit ball by Ian, but the center fielder ran back and made the play without too much trouble. It's out. Cardinals have been a hot team. There's a bouncer back to the mound. The throw to second. There's one. And the throw to first completes the double play. Donovan, the second baseman, the middleman. 1-4. Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
That's my security right there. That's the bad one, Roscoe Pico train.
Major League Baseball wanted to start doing something with the players and their dogs.
Which one's the dog?
I was undecided on whether to do a dog card or not, but my wife pushed me in the back and she wanted a famous dog, so she told me to do it.
Crisp, refreshing flavors that hit every time. Pat?
Very good, Zach. Zach will be along in the fifth inning to work with Ron. Michael Langston is our engineer at the controls as the second inning gets underway with Pete Crow Armstrong swinging away and fouling it away. Pete, one of the few bright spots offensively for the Cubs last night. 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles. Arenado a good 20 feet off the third base line and playing shallow. Ground ball to short, scooped up by Wynn, and he will throw out a hustling Crow Armstrong, and that's out number 1. Scoreless game. The batter is Dansby Swanson.
Pete right on time, but that's that two-seamer that we were talking about, that sinker. And he hit it right on the button, but right at the shortstop.
We're going to pause for an ID as soon as we can. Dansby Swanson checks in. Dansby hitless in 4 at-bats last night. He will take a fastball strike from McGreevy. Most of the Cubs seeing McGreevy for the first time ever. Did you have a policy, Ron, when you were facing a guy the first time?
Yeah, my first at-bat, I wanted to see as many pitches as I could. Yeah, and really get an idea of the release point, what his breaking ball was doing, what his fastball looked like. And the only way that would change is if my first at-bat I came to the plate and there was runners in scoring position. Then I went strictly on the scouting report, and if I got something good to hit early in at-bat, I would swing. You know, you're trying to drive in runs.
Outside to Dansby, 2 balls and a strike. Swanson hitting .238 with 14 home runs. He's driven in 39. Swanson swings and misses on a breaking ball, 2-2. We'll play the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game a bit later on. Again, last night, 27,000 and change.
That's got to be the smallest crowd we've had here in St. Louis in 10 years, if not more.
At least,
right?
Yes. Now the 2-2. Swanson takes the low one away. The count now 3-2.
I was going to say, I came back here to broadcast for the Cubs in 14. I don't think there's ever been a crowd in the 20,000 range since I've been here in 14. Now that I think about it. 3-2
pitch fouled at the plate. And both teams are not only good teams, but they are contending teams.
Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is one of the smallest crowds, and last night, that I can ever remember here. Now, maybe in a September situation when both teams were out of it, we may have seen some small crowds, but not in June when the Cubs are in first and St. Louis just 3.5 games back. Very odd. 3-2, wrapped on the ground to short, and Wynn will throw out Dansby Swanson. We're going to pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Talk Cubs with us on Spiegel and Holmes, 2 to 6 afternoons on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network, WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Michael Busch has power. Let's see if he jumps on the first pitch here. 2 down, nobody on. Why not? He takes one a little bit low for ball 1. Still some streaks of light on the ground out in right center and right. The lights have been turned on, having only a minimal effect right now. Still warm. It was 93 at game time. Here's a smash foul off to the left and out of play. 2 outs, nobody on. You got power. Are you thinking long ball?
Yes, absolutely. I think for Michael, he's looking for a ball he can drive. He's got 12 bombs on the year. Why wouldn't you?
And the 1-1. Wrapped on the ground, backhanded by Contreras at first. Reverse pivot, underhand feed to the pitcher McGreevy in time. And that ends the inning. Cubs do nothing at the end of 1.5. Scoreless game. Cubs and Cardinals on the score.
I believe this one's it's a rookie card, I know, but I feel like it's the first card that I ever, like, big league card. Obviously, as a kid, trying to get to the big leagues, the dream of making it. But as a kid that had cards, right, as a kid, this is like seeing your card the first time is pretty cool. So that's pretty powerful when you see that card.
Jersey, or if you swap a jersey with one of the players on the National League, who would it be? Who would you pick?
Okay, so I got an Ohtani jersey last year, so
nice.
I'm gonna probably say Harper.
Maybe Judge. He's one of the greatest to play the game in the last 5, 6, 7 years, so it'd be cool to have his jersey.
Ellie's been fun to watch. Yeah, Ellie'd be a cool one. I mean, his jersey would probably be too big for me. It'd probably go down to my knees.
.com for locations.
Tuesday, July 1st is Illinois State University night. Fans who purchase tickets through CUBS.com/specials will receive a special edition New Era Cubs and Illinois State University cap. Pat?
All right, Zach. Wilson Contreras. We just saw his brother William when the Cubs played Milwaukee on the last homestand. This is the former Cub Wilson Contreras. 1 ball and no strikes. The next pitch swung on and missed. Wilson hitting .248, 10 home runs, 50 driven in, but he did have a big night last night, going 3 for 4. Batting cleanup for the Cardinals these days, the 1-1. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike from the big right-hander, Jameson Taillon. Taillon, 21 games above 500 in his career, ERA of under 4. 7-4 this season. Here's the pitch, wrapped on the ground toward the middle, base hit to center. Contreras takes a big turn and holds on. Sharp ground ball between Swanson and the second base bag. Dansby with a valiant diving try, missed it by less than a foot.
A little fastball away. Contreras just kind of flicks at this ball, but he is such a strong guy. The core strength and leg strength from Contreras, and we talked about last night, this infield plays extremely fast. That ball shot through the infield.
Lars Nootbaar, a left-handed batter, steps in and takes a strike. Nootbaar had a home run last night with a man on. His 10th of the year. His average at .229. Bush holding Contreras at first. Taillon to the belt, delivers 0-1. Called strike 2.
A good fastball, downward tilt by Taillon, just straight downhill, right at the knees, outside corner.
Again, the Cubs with a 3.5 game lead in the division over these Cardinals, and Milwaukee also 3.5 in arrears. Here's the pitch fouled away. Cincinnati 5.5 back at the start of night play tonight. I saw where the Reds are going to start a guy by the name of Chase Burns, the Major League debut for him. He was the second overall pick in last year's amateur draft. Chase Burns of Cincinnati. Now the 0-2. Foul back, high fastball.
Cincinnati's going to be in the mix now. They've got a really good manager, and he knows how to win, and he knows how to motivate. Terry Francona.
And they've got an ace blossoming in Andrew Abbott.
Yeah, you were talking about him yesterday in the performance. How about all the putouts by the right fielder in that game yesterday?
10. Changeup just missed. I think Tyone and the catcher McGuire thought they had him. As we watch that one again, maybe a little outside.
Just missed wide.
Contreras not a big base stealer and not taking a big lead at first. Nonetheless, Tyone will chase him back.
Our reviews in this game are sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. Second opinion's always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine.
No score, second inning. Nootbaar hits a high fly ball to right. Back goes Tucker to the right field fence, and this ball is gone for a home run. St. Louis leading 2-0. Towering drive to the Cardinal bullpen and right. And the Redbirds take an early 2-0 lead.
Pitch from Tyone, little inside cutter, and he didn't get it inside. It stays inner half only. And Nootbaar hits this ball a mile in the air, but he knew it. When he hit it, it lands right in the back wall, hits the back wall of the Cardinal bullpen. And like last night, a 2-run homer starts off the scoring for St. Louis.
Nolan Arenado swings and misses. For Nootbaar, his 11th of the year. Contreras scores in front of him. Nootbaar now 35 runs batted in, and the Cubs play from behind. Pop up on the infield. Horner's going to make the catch. And Nolan Arenado is out number 1. 2-0 St. Louis. The batter, Nolan Gorman.
Now, the one thing about this ballpark, I would say when it gets real hot in the summer, it's probably a better hitter's park, but it plays somewhat fair. It's symmetrical, as you said yesterday, with the dimensions.
Strike to Gorman, Ron.
But I really think, in the dead of summer, the ball carries pretty well here because of the heat and, wind blowing out towards center field tonight.
The 0-1 is outside. The humidity, scientists will tell you, allows the ball to carry farther.
Right.
It would seem to me any moisture would have the reverse effect.
Yep.
But here comes the 1-1 pitch. Line to right, a base hit for Nolan Gorman. But you can actually tell, Ron, as a broadcaster, once it gets really humid, the ball does carry much better.
No doubt. You get those hot, humid days in the Midwest here. We get it in Chicago. We just had it. And the ball just flies.
Pedro Pages, the batter. 3 hits in the inning for St. Louis. 2 singles and the home run by Nootbaar. Pages takes a strike. The famous St. Louis arch. Curvature of steel way out beyond the right center field fence. Clearly visible. Breaking ball is outside for a ball. 1-1. I'm wondering how they have built elevators for that thing.
Right. Well, we could find out.
Please report back to me, okay? Here's the next offering in there for a strike. I'll take your word for it.
I asked last night, folks, and I tried to get a little lunch date with Pat to go up into the arch, and I went down there to, I thought we were noon, and said, no, Pat was here for breakfast, and he said, thank you very much, but he's up.
Oh, I was here much earlier. I waited for you. I had to split.
Did you? Okay.
Here comes the stretch by Tyone. Short lead at first by Gorman. Pajes, the right-handed batting catcher, checks and takes outside. It's kind of hard to measure the height of the St. Louis Arch, but I would guess maybe 250 feet.
Yeah, I'm not sure how tall it is. When you stand right underneath it, because there's a park that you can walk around, and I've done that many times, right underneath the arch.
Swing and a foul back.
It is impressive. It really is. It is impressive structure. Right on the water.
It's 192 meters, so if I do the quick math in my head.
The meters, do you have a meter to foot table there, Zach?
630 feet.
Wow. Fly ball to center. Pete Crow Armstrong is there, and he'll make the catch. So you're telling me that is more than 2 football fields high?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Wow, that's surprising. I'm definitely not going up there.
No, I've known you a long time, buddy. I wasn't holding my breath on you. You and I having lunch up there at the top of the arch.
I'm sure you're nice and safe.
I will.
You got steel around you, and it's not going anywhere. There's no windows up there, so.
But there is. You can see when you get up there, right?
There's
beautiful, windows up there. Yeah, Zach's been up there.
Like I said, no chance for me. 0-1. Here's the pitch to the left-handed batting center fielder, Victor Scott II.
Yeah, I have to admit, I that would not be tops on my list of things to do. Would be one heck of a slide if he came down off the top of that on the outside, wouldn't it?
Rather not even think about that. Here's a change-up down low, and they count 2-1.
I'm guessing that steel's pretty hot at the moment.
Yeah, yeah, that's
so
a good point, see?
Burn part of your body, and no need to get into the parts. And the 2-1 instead of toss to first.
Now, as for the elevators, they're more like capsules than elevators, because traditional elevators obviously would not make sense for an arch.
Sound like a little rail system, right?
Yeah, like a Ferris wheel type of action.
Now the 2-1 from Tyone, low and inside. Throw to first base, and not in time. A throw right on the bag might have been able to pick off Gorman. He was wandering off the bag for whatever reason.
Yep.
It's now a 3-1 count on Victor Scott.
Well, Gorman reads this ball in the dirt, and it's just a great pick. McGuire at home plate with one-handed pick, and then when a catcher picks a ball like that, he knows that the runner is going to veer off the bag. That's why he threw over there.
A bunt attempt, foul on a 3-1 pitch. Did I actually see that, Ron?
Yeah,
that's hard to believe with 2 outs. He was trying to, it looked like, to push it down the third baseline.
It's an odd play, there's no doubt.
Wow. Now 3-2 on Victor Scott. There goes the runner. The pitch fouled back to the screen. When's the last time you saw a guy with 3-1 and 2 outs try to even think about lay down a bunt?
Yeah, that's not what you're looking for. You got a man on base with 2 outs. You're trying to drive one in the gap and drive in a run.
There goes the runner. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Scott is out number 3. Strikeout number 2 for Tyone. But the Cardinals grab the lead on the 2-run home run by Lars Nootbaar. We go to the 3rd. Redbird.
Biggest thing we're bringing is a brand new Tony Gwynn drop I did with his estate. So we just signed a deal at therealist.com to actually go through his entire archives, present them, and auction them off. And to announce it, we did this limited edition 1994 The Lost Season card. Because between August of '93 And May of '95, Tony Gwynn batted .406 in 162 games. So in the back, we have the stats of what could have been.
Do you guys make your own brisket here?
Yes, we do. We do. We are known by our brisket.
Barbecue brisket sandwich. Places and it looks good. We're ready to eat.
We go to an average 500 briskets per game. We hear a lot from our fans. They want to try something with wrap, easy to eat. So we say, well, let's do like a brisket, wrap, and an egg roll.
That's beautiful. You get the gold medal for culinary brisketry here in Texas.
Yes.
Proud to sponsor the Cubs. James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs.
Nico Horner's on deck for the Cubs. Who's on deck? Brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Pat?
Let's see if the Cubs can get a little rally going here, Zach. Third inning, Nico Horner takes a strike. Nico hitting .288. Had a couple of hits in last night's game. Matt Shaw to follow, and then Reese McGuire. A 2-run homer by Lars Nootbaar, the difference so far. Nico takes inside, 1-1. Whenever we talk about the defensive alignment against the Cubs, as Nico will take down low. The defensive alignment. I know I had it here just a minute ago. I found it.
There you go.
Here comes the 2-1. A little fly ball down the right field line. Long run for Burleson. Burleson has to play it on a bounce. It's a base hit. Nico with the play right in front of him reads it properly and holds with a leadoff single. I expected Burleson to maybe try a dive. The ball not hit that sharply. How about you, Ron?
Yeah, it was one of those plays where I wonder if he just played it cautiously to make sure that Nico was held to a single. If you don't make that catch and the ball bounces past you, the one thing off this surface, Pat, it plays pretty fast, very fast, but it can play kind of hard too. And that ball can bounce like that one bounced up and he caught it chest high.
Base hit for Nico. Matt Shaw, the batter. Matt hitting in some rough luck of late. Low and inside. What advice would you give to a young hitter who's hitting the ball well, just not finding any base hits?
Yeah, I would say for Matty, I would start really simplifying my approach and what I'm trying to do at home plate and get small victories at home plate. And what I mean by that is I would simplify what I'm trying to do. So I want to track the ball to the barrel of the bat with my eyes and just do that and know that if I do that, I've got a chance of hitting the ball hard somewhere.
Shaw takes a strike, Ron, 2-1.
Because you see a lot of just what happened there. You see a lot of his flinching check swing kind of approach where he holds and doesn't swing. That to me tells me his head's moving a lot and he's jumpy at home plate. So he's not getting a good look at the ball right away.
Shaw takes a strike, 2-2.
And that happened again. And that was an inside fastball. And he started to go, then flinched at it, like backed away, and the ball hit the inside corner.
Horner a good lead at first, being held by Contreras. Cubs trail 2-0. Shaw hits one in the air, shallow right center. That ball might drop, and it will. It's a base hit. Nico advances to second. It's a bloop single for Shaw. That'll make up for one of the line drives that's been caught lately against Shaw. 2 men on, nobody out, and the batter is Reese McGuire.
Yeah, Matty scorched one yesterday right at the third baseman. Arenado made a great catch on him. And at least I starts the ball game with a base hit. Now the Cubs need another big swing of the bat.
The defensive alignment that we talk about, that's sponsored by Fitzgerald Equipment. Material handling handled. Learn more at FitzgeraldEquipment.com. Cardinals are looking for a bunt, and McGuire bunts at the pitch and fouls it at the plate. So the number 9 hitter being called upon to lay one down here.
Now with this bunting situation, McGuire, you're going to try to bunt this ball at Arenado at third and make him come in and field this ball.
Here's the pitch. There's a bunt toward third and foul. And now the count 0-2. Do you keep the bunt on or do you turn him loose?
I would say swing. See what counsel does here. Arenado and Contreras, both corner infielders, still going to play in case McGuire decides to bunt.
Cubs with their first scoring chance, real scoring chance of the game. 2 men on, nobody out. And now McGuire will take down low. We're going to play the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. I'm going to say 25,252. 25252. And the 1-2. McGuire strikes out swinging. Looked like a good sinking fastball. One down, and the batter, Ian Happ.
Yeah, that's that good two-seamer we were talking about earlier. Good pitch, started out in the outside corner and just darted down and away.
Happ lined out to deep center his first time. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. And the pitch to Ian is outside.
I'll say 27,500.
I'll go 27,000 on the dot.
So you guys are both in the area where last night's attendance was. And now the 1-0. Check swing. It's strike 2.
That's a movement on that fastball. He's getting a lot of check swing and getting good movement on that two-seamer.
Right about 8 years ago in this park, Ian Happ had his first big league home run. 2017, I still remember it, Ron, to right center. It landed in the bullpen, gone by plenty. That was the year after the Cubs won the World Series. They have not been back since. I think that came against Carlos Martinez.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The 2-1 is down low. Former right-handed starter of yesteryear for the St. Louis Cardinals. Okay, now it's 3-1. Are you thinking long ball if you're Ian?
Yeah, well, what I would look for is I'd look for that two-seam fastball running away from me. I'd be dialed into left center field if I were Ian.
He takes low and inside, ball 4. So the plot thickens. Everyone moves up 90. The bases are now loaded with one away. And Kyle Tucker batting in what might be a potential turning point of this ball game.
Rare walk for McCreevy. He does not walk many guys at all. And he missed his location by quite a bit. That pitch was overthrown. They wanted that fastball down and away, two-seamer, and he pulled it way inside.
Walks to Cubs batters, sponsored by It'sNotAGameIllinois.com. A reminder, a walk is free, a DUI is not. Drive sober or get pulled over.
And we're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. Tuck in last at bat, first inning, hit a bullet back through the middle for a base hit. That's where the Cubs' star players, Tucker being the star player. Cubs need him to punch in here and do some damage.
Kyle trying to turn this game around. Cubs trail 2-0. Cubs have the bases loaded with one away here in the third. And the pitch. Low and inside on a breaking ball. Okay, if I'm the batter, and I'm an amateur, not a professional ball player, he doesn't want to throw another breaking ball and go behind 2-0. I'm looking fastball.
Yeah, I would anticipate a two-seamer. That's his best pitch. I would expect that pitch away.
Here comes the 1-0. Swinging a drive, right center field, base hit in the alley. 2 runs will score. Happ racing to third on a long single by Kyle Tucker. Cubs have tied this ball game at 2. Solid 2-run single by Tucker. And it's a brand new ball game here in Missouri.
Big swing of the bat for Tucker, what we were just talking about. In big series, your star players have to play well. He gets that 2-seam fastball up and out over the plate. That is not down. You know they want that ball down and away, and it's up and away, and Tuck smashes that ball in the right center.
Happ able to leg it over to third. Both Horner and Shaw scored. Infield stays back for Seiya Suzuki with men at first and third. And Seiya takes a strike. Seiya bounced into a double play his first time. He's got an RBI opportunity. Cubs trying to grab their first lead of the game and the series.
Ian hit in this inning. He's a designated hitter tonight. And designated hitters are sponsored by BBQ Authority. Visit BBQ Authority in Lisle.
Suzuki 64 runs batted in. Seiya cracks one in the air, deep left field. It's got a chance. Gone to the Cubs bullpen. A rocket for Seiya Suzuki, a 3-run homer. Cubs lead 5-2.
And you want your star players to do big things in big series. Tucker and now Seiya Suzuki with 2 big swings of the bat here in the third and put up a 5 spot so far in this inning.
A low line drive, Ron, to the right of the 375 marker. One of the Cub members of the bullpen caught the ball on the fly. We'll try to identify who that was. As Pico Armstrong will take down low for a ball. What a rocket that was.
Yeah, that was just a line drive bullet right into the Cubs bullpen.
Number 21 for Suzuki. 67 RBIs. PCA bounces one to first, backhanded by Contreras. Takes it to the bag. Out number 2. 3 unassisted. And the batter Dansby Swanson. But the home run. Another hefty home run. Official trash bag of the Chicago Cubs. Hefty strength. That's anything but ordinary. That's right. Strength that's anything but ordinary. Suzuki run lately, and actually all season, but I mean lately, there have been so many balls that have just jumped off of his bat. His timing has been impeccable of late.
Well, he is. When he gets the barrel of the bat on the ball to the pull side, he just absolutely crushes it.
I go back to the Sunday game in Cincinnati about a month ago. He almost hit one into the upper deck.
Yeah.
He's hit several line drive homers at Wrigley of late, and now this one. You barely have time to call it as a play-by-play man.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
It's a good problem to have.
Yes, it is.
Don't get me wrong.
RBIs by Cubs batters. They're sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old.
Swanson pops it up right side. It's going to be playable in foul territory for Contreras. And that ends the inning, but it's a prosperous 5-run top of the third for the Cubs. 5 runs on a total of 4 hits. There was a walk and nobody left on. We go to the bottom of the third. Cubs 5, Cardinals 2. This is the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
To be in, the middle of New York to display a card like this is really such a big part of the Fanatics mission. You know, we think about how do we create new experiences. Now we get the opportunity to put incredible Holy Grail cards in front of tens of thousands, if not millions of new people. It's not just about collectors today, but also about how do we bring new collectors into the space as well. It's really what we do it all for.
Cubs 5, Cardinals 2, bottom 3 here in St. Louis, where it's currently 87 degrees and sunny. Time and temperature sponsored by Circa Sports Illinois. Bet like the pros and download the Circa Sports app today.
Brendan Donovan lacing the first pitch into left field for a single. Jamison Taillon now working with the lead for the very first time tonight. 5-2 Cubs. Donovan at first and the batter Mason Wynn. RBIs by Cubs batters, and again Seiya up to the impressive number of 67 RBIs. Cubs are playing in their 79th game. How's that for a ratio? It's a pace for right around 140, I would say, for the year. I'm not saying he's going to get there, but that's the pace, which is very impressive. RBIs by Cubs batters, sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old. Here's a bunt attempt by Mason Wynn, foul. How does the lead now with the Cubs getting 5 in the top of the inning, how does that change, if at all, the approach of Jamison Taillon?
I don't think it changes his approach. I think it makes him feel a lot better that he's got the lead here in St. Louis as opposed to pitching from behind.
Fly ball, deep left field. Going back is Suzuki near the wall, and that ball is gone for a home run. Mason Wynn, a 2-run homer. And now it's starting to feel very much like a Cubs-Cardinals game. Back and forth. It is 5-4. The Cubs still lead. Seiya went back. Had he been right at the wall, he got kind of twisted around. I don't think he would have had a chance anyway, but had he been at the wall and made a leaping try, Ron, he might have been able to get leather on that ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure how far it landed, but you're right. He was not at the area of the wall where the ball went over the wall. He had gone a little towards center field and then had to come back. But it ended up going over the wall for a 2-run bomb.
So it is a 5-4 Cubs lead, and you get the distinct feeling that the bullpens are going to play a significant role on both sides in this ballgame. Alec Burleson hits one in the air to left. This one is playable for Seiya, and that's out number 1. Wilson Contreras coming up.
Now the ball definitely carrying. It did. I thought the ball hit the center. Did not carry all that well here so far. A couple of the balls that were hit, I thought Ian's ball and first at bat of the game did not carry good, but the ball going to the left field, I think, is carrying really well.
Sure seems to. Here's a pitch low and outside to Wilson.
Because I watched the contact of that last ball that Wynn just hit. He hit that ball right off the end of the bat.
And he's not a big slugger.
Correct.
Here's the 1-0 to Contreras. A little bit outside, ball 2. Milwaukee playing at home tonight against the Pirates. The Pirates beat the Brewers last night. A 1-run game in Wisconsin. I'll tell you who's hot lately is Christian Yelich. Yelich had a home run last night. How about 30 RBIs in his last 26 games? Ooh. Smacked on the ground, foul past third. Might have been a broken bat. And he's got 8 homers and hitting .402 in those 26 games. So keep an eye on Christian Yelich. Nick Gonzalez of the Pirates was 5 for 5. Drove in a couple of runs as the Pirates beat Milwaukee last night 5-4. See where Ellie De La Cruz had a homer, triple, and a single and 3 RBIs to help the Reds beat the Yanks last night 6-1. Reds have been playing better. They've won 11 of their last 16. Keep an eye on them. Just thinking of these teams in the Central Division, Ron, 4 of the 5. As Contreras hits a high pop fly foul, might be playable for McGuire. The Cubs catcher makes the catch over near the Cubs third base dugout, and that's out number 2. But when you think about this park here in St. Louis, Wrigley Field, the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, and American Family Field in Milwaukee, they all, in the summertime, become very homer-friendly ballparks.
Absolutely.
All four of them, and to maybe a lesser degree, PNC Park in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I would agree. I think you're looking at those four ballparks that are great hitters' parks for 2 or 3 month period.
1 ball and no strikes on Lars Nootbaar. Nootbaar will take outside for a ball. Cubs are going to be on the road all week after 4 games here, ending on Thursday afternoon. The Cubs are in Houston for the weekend. And then the Cubs will be home next week. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike, 2-1. And the next offering, there's another strike, 2-2.
Good fastball right on the inside corner by Tyone.
Cleveland will visit Wrigley next week for 3. I might be looking at the wrong list here. I beg your pardon.
Cleveland comes in. Right.
Here comes the 3-2 now on the way. Off-speed pitch down low. Cleveland is in for a series, and then St. Louis. These Cardinals will be at Wrigley next weekend. Go to CUBS.com for ticket info. Nolan Arenado steps in with Nootbaar at first. 2 down, 2 runs in. Cubs lead 5-4, inning number 3. Arenado takes a wild pitch, and down to second goes Nootbaar.
We were out here early today, you and I, just getting prepared for the game, and there wasn't a lot of, neither team really took a lot of batting practice today, mainly because of the heat. It's just extremely hot here, you know, close to 100 degrees. The one guy that did come out early today and hit, Arenado. He took a lot of BP by himself.
He hits a ground ball to third, scooped up by Shaw. The throw to first ends the inning. A little bit of a low toss, backhanded out of the dust by Bush. And it's time to slow things down, which is a very good idea in weather like this. As the third inning comes.
Biggest thing we're bringing is a brand new Tony Gwynn drop I did with his estate. So we just signed a deal at therealist.com to actually go through his entire archives, present them, and auction them off. And to announce it, we did this limited edition 1994 The Lost Season card. Because, you know, between August of 93 and May of 95, Tony Gwynn batted .406 in 162 games. So in the back, we have the stats of what could have been.
Talk to me.
This is called a Crawford dog. Hamburger bun.
Yes.
2 split top Angus beef hot dogs griddled on the skillet, on the plancha.
Amazing.
And then we do a bacon onion jam with Crawford Bach beer.
Pick it up like a burger.
Pick it up like a burger and you just go in, man.
Let's go to town. Dude. Oh, best hot dog I've ever had. Best hot dog I've ever had. I love this, man.
This is how I grew up eating hot dogs.
At ZigglerSubaruKenosha.com. They'll light up the scoreboard every time.
Make smooth cuts with the Bosch miter saw. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
The Out-of-Town Scoreboard is sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app now and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. The Brewers lead the Pirates 2-0. Bottom of the fourth inning, Joey Ortiz a 2-run home run.
Michael Busch leads it off. Zach fouls it away. 0-2. What else?
Bottom of the seventh inning in Baltimore. The Rangers leading the Orioles 4-3. A's 4, Tigers 2. They're in the last of the third in Detroit. Brent Rooker with a 2-run home run is 16th. Other action, the Blue Jays on top of the Guardians 6-1 now, last of the seventh.
0-2 to Busch is low.
Brett Beatty with a 2-run single for the Mets. They lead the Braves 3-0 after 5. The Yankees on top of the Reds 3-0 now. Bottom of the sixth inning in Cincinnati, Anthony Volpe with a 2-run triple.
The 1-2 is low, 2-2.
Danny Jansen with a 2-run home run for Tampa. The Rays lead the Royals 3-0 after 4. The Mariners on top of the Twins 5-1 now in the top half of the fourth inning.
Michael McGreevy, the right-hander, coming back 2-2. Fly ball left field, pretty well hit, but playable for Nootbaar. Makes the catch some 15 feet shy of the track in left. One away, Zach.
After 4, Diamondbacks and White Sox tied at 1. Luis Robert Jr. evens the game up for the Southsiders with his 8th home run. Phillies and Astros scoreless in the top of the third. Top 1, no score in Denver between the Dodgers and the Rockies. Pat?
Very good. Thanks to Zach. He'll be along in the 5th inning to work with Ron. Cubs lead 5-4 over St. Louis. Cubs got all of their runs in the third. A 2-run single by Tucker and a 3-run homer by Suzuki. Nico Horner takes inside. No more streaks of light on the field. Still plenty of daylight left. Lights have been turned on. There's a strike, 1-1. Again, another disappointingly small crowd. And now the 1-1. Hit in the air to left center. On the run, Scott near the track makes the catch. Nico hit that ball right on the money, but Scott ran it down. And that's out number 2.
Yeah, Nico scorches this ball to center field. Scott catches this ball about one step in front of the track going towards left center. Long line drive out for Nico Horner.
2 gone. Matt Shaw, the batter. Matt had a single and scored a run his first time. The pitch by McGreevy, and Shaw takes a strike. Cubs have lost 4 of their last 5, trying to get things turned around. St. Louis has won 6 of their last 7. There is a strike in the count, 0-2. Night game tomorrow, day game Thursday, and Shota Imanaga scheduled to start the game on Thursday, the day game. Here's the fly ball into left center, actually dead center, pretty well hit, but playable for Scott. And the Cubs are retired on 3 fly balls here in the 4th inning. We go to the bottom half. Cubs 5, Cardinals 4. This is the score in the South.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
I'm gonna go check out Food Truck Row. So, what did you guys get today?
Philly cheesesteaks.
Both of you got the same thing. Are they that good?
Oh, yeah.
Got a hot dog and some fries.
Just kind of basic ballpark.
Chicken bacon sandwich. Philly cheesesteak.
Okay.
And some...
Crinkle cut fries.
Okay, where are you guys from?
We're from Dallas.
Dallas. That's what's fun about baseball. It brings different regions together, not just the ball and glove and bat, but what we're eating.
Biggest thing we're bringing is a brand new Tony Gwynn drop I did with his estate. So we just signed a deal at therealist.com to actually go through his entire archives, present them, and auction them off. And to announce it, we did this limited edition 1994 The Lost Season card. Because, you know, between August of 93 and May of 95, Tony Gwynn batted .406 in 162 games. So in the back, we have the stats of what could have been.
League Leaders are sponsored by American Sail. Bring the fun home. Aaron Judge leads the majors in batting average, hitting .366. Cal Raleigh, a home run king with 32. He also leads the league in RBIs with 69. Pat?
All right, Zach, thank you. Bottom of inning number 4. Jamison Tyone working on Nolan Gorman. Gorman had a single his first time. Left-handed batter, takes low, 2-0. Pedro Pajes on deck, and then Victor Scott II. Each team with 5 hits. High pop fly might be playable. There's a lot of foul territory over on the left side. Over near the stands is Shaw lunging and not able to make the catch. There is netting extending up above that barrier, and he fell into the netting. He's okay, but that's probably not the most comfortable landing you'll ever make, Ron.
No, I would agree. And then I don't know where the ball landed. It hits the netting, and it hits him right on top of the head. Yeah, that's what I thought. So it hits the netting and then hits him right in the top of the head.
Well, that's not fun.
No, that's going to hurt.
That was a direct blow as he was jumping into the netting, lunging for the ball. And as that netting kind of forced his body to move in a different area. And now his teammates are razzing him, but they're just happy it didn't happen to themselves.
Oh, yeah. It's always funny when it happens to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sure Dansby put a glove on that head or something like that, you know.
That's the way to use your head.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you know it. You've heard it before.
Oh, yeah. Here's the 2-1. Deep drive right center and trouble. This is going to tie the game. Long home run. Wow. Nolan Gorman hits one way up into the stands in right center. And this ball game is tied at 5.
Wow, that play becomes a big play. I don't know Matty had any chance at all to catch that ball, you know, but it's borderline, right on the edge. If it's caught, it's a great play. I think it did hit the netting, you know, before it comes down to Matt, so he has no chance. But then the frustrating thing, the next ball put in play, goes halfway up the bleachers and right.
Gorman's 6th of the year. He had a line drive home run in last night's game. This was more of a towering drive. Had to go 430. And this ball game is back to even, tied at 5. Pedro Pajes the batter. Here comes the 0-1 from Tyone. There's a strike. 0-2.
Take Cubs baseball with you wherever you may go in the Chicagoland area with the Odyssey app. Download the app and search 670 The Score.
Here's the drive to the gap, right center, on the run. Tucker can't get it. It goes all the way to the wall. Pajes heading to second. He's got a double.
Now back-to-back hard-hit balls. This one hit the other way. As this a fastball up and out over the plate. Pajes one hops the wall in right center. And a home run and a double now here in the 4th for St. Louis.
Cardinals 3 homers and now a double among their 7 hits against Tyone. Victor Scott the second steps in. Still nobody out. A run in, a man at second base in a tie game.
Tyone there with a little inside move to see if Scott was going to bunt. The difficulty in bunting here is the base runner at second base, as the catcher Pius is very slow.
Nonetheless, the bunt goes toward third and foul. Scott struck out his first time, left-handed hitter.
The only chance in bunting for St. Louis to get the runner to third is if they make Shaw field this bunt at third base, because he'll have to come in and vacate the bat.
Now the 0-1 from Tyone. Fastball is high, 1-1. Saw some guys limbering up in the Cardinal bullpen. You get the feeling that the bullpens are going to see a lot of action in this game, both sides. Check swing on a breaking ball, that's a strike. Good call by the third base umpire, Adrian Johnson. Clearly the batter, Scott, tried to hit that pitch, tried to check his swing, but way too late.
That might be the best curveball that Tyone's thrown tonight.
Shaw still expecting a bunt with 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2. Just a little bit high and inside. I'm not expecting a bunt here, are you?
No, I am not, no.
Here comes the 2-2 from Jamison Tyone. Pulled on the ground, foul pass first. Nobody throwing in either bullpen. Lots of action tonight. Each team with 5 runs. Fastball up and away. That almost looked like Jamison stumbled as he delivered it.
Yeah, either that or he overthrew it and just, but mechanically fell off throwing that pitch. Absolutely.
Now the 3-2 to the number 9 hitter, Victor Scott. And it is taken for ball 4. So still nobody out in the inning. A homer, a double, and now a walk.
Wow.
He got squeezed on that one. That could have been a called strike.
Yeah, that's a good pitch, down and away. That's good pitcher's pitch. He just didn't get the call.
Now Tommy Hotovy, the pitching coach, walking out to the mound. There will be some immediate activity in the Cub bullpen. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds here for station identification. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago's teams on the Spiegel and Holmes Show. Afternoons 2 to 6 on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network. WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, an Odyssey sports station.
With Ron Coomer, Pat Hughes at Busch Stadium. Cubs and Cardinals, one of the great rivalries. Another good one going tonight, tied at 5. Zach Zedman working alongside. Our engineer is Michael Langston. 2 men on, nobody out for Brendan Donovan, who hits a high fly ball to left, playable for Suzuki. Runners have to hold. That's out number 1. Big out.
My big pitch for Tyone there. Now you get a little rollover ground ball. You can turn a pair and get a double play. I think Caleb Thielbar is now warming up, left-hander for the Cubs in their bullpen.
Mason Wynn has flied out and belted a 2-run homer. Right-handed batter, open stance, feet very close together. Lines one down the left field line, a base hit into the corner. The Cardinals are going to take the lead. 1 run is in. Scott's going to score easily. And the Cardinals lead 7-5. 2-run double for Mason Wynn, who now has 4 runs batted in this game.
Wynn gets this pitch. It's in the middle of the plate, about knee high. And he's right on time with this one. He hammers this ball down into the corner.
Wynn now with 29 RBIs. And Alec Burleson, the batter. Cardinals now have scored 3 in the inning and have taken a 7-5 lead. First pitch strike to Burleson. And the next offering by Tyone. Swinging a smash foul off to the right. 0-2. If he doesn't get this batter, it might be his final man. Here's a deep drive to center. Going back is Carl Armstrong to the wall. Makes the catch. And Pete forgot how many out there were, and now the runner is going to try to score, and he does. Pete Carl Armstrong thought that was the third out in the inning. He put his head down. His teammates Suzuki and Tucker yelling for him to throw the ball in. And he realized too late, tagging and scoring from second, Mason Wynn, and the Cardinals lead 8-5.
It's one of those plays. It's an embarrassing play if you're the fielder. And unfortunately for the Cubs, it cost them a run.
Wynn scoring from second on the deep fly ball. No error on the play. One ball and one strike on Wilson Contreras. And he'll take a strike. Well, when the Cubs got those 5 in the third, you thought they might be on their way to enjoying the rest of this ball game, but the Cardinals have stormed back and they lead 8-5. The next pitch swung on and missed, and that will end the inning. But the Cardinals score 4 runs. We go to inning number 5. Zach Zaidman joins Ron Coomer in a moment. Cardinals 8, Cubs 5 on the score, and the Southwest Airlines Cubs.
I believe this one's it's a rookie card, I know, but I feel like it's the first card that I ever, big league card. Obviously, as a kid, trying to get to the big leagues, the dream of making it, but as a kid that had cards, right, as a kid, this is like seeing your card the first time is pretty cool. So that's pretty powerful when you see that card.
Visit BenjaminMoore.com today.
Alongside Ron Coomer, Zach Zaidman with you. Top of the 5th here in St. Louis. It's the Cardinals leading the Cubs 8-5. We're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. The Cardinals rallying with a 4-run 4th inning to move ahead in this seesaw game here at Busch Stadium. Game 2 of a 4-game set. Reese McGuire at the plate. Michael McGreevy on the hill, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1 on McGuire, a fastball.
I think Paul Clemens did a very good thing here in between innings. A home plate umpire.
A swing and a miss by McGuire, 0-2.
McGuire was late coming out to home plate to start his at-bat. They could have started the clock on him and called a strike, but I think, because of the extreme heat, they're allowing catchers to get a little ammonia towel and get themselves freshened up.
Ground ball to second, fielded by Donovan. His throw to first in time. McGuire retired, 1 away.
And I think that's just, good common sense by the umpires of understanding. Is it more important that you start the clock and get the inning started and call strike 1 on a catcher, or do you let them get an ammonia towel and kind of get himself freshened up to make sure safety's first? And I think that's exactly what he did. And Cardinals were asking if that was going to be a strike, and he canceled that and said he did not start the clock. So that's good common sense and good umpiring by Paul Clemens.
Ian Happ looks at a strike on the outside corner from McGreevy. 24-year-old right-hander who works his motion and deals. The next pitch is low, 1-1.
I think you play in these kind of conditions where it was mid-90s heat index to start the ball game. And, for both sides, you just want the guys to be able to play the game normally. And, and if catcher, you're playing a 95-degree heat, you want those guys to be able to get their gear off and not run around when they don't have to.
Happ lines one into right field for a base hit. 1-out single for Happ. It'll bring up Kyle Tucker, who's 2 for 2 today with a 2-run single.
The Cubs need to get the bats going again. This is one of them ball games. Balls are flying around the yard. 8-5 Cardinals here in the 5th. So see if the Cubs can crank it up again. 3rd inning, they did some damage with this part of the lineup. Need to do it again.
Tucker hitting at 286 on the season. Left-handed batter. The right-hander McGreevy deals, and the pitch is lined into shallow center field. Now drifting back is Scott, and he makes the catch. 2 away.
Started in. That ball kind of fooled Tucker as he went out and kind of one-handed this ball, but he hit it right on the barrel. Yeah, and Scott came in at the beginning and then he had to jam on the brakes and go backwards a little bit.
So Happ at first, 2 down. And Seiya Suzuki digs in. We're in the 5th. Cardinals up 8-5. Suzuki blasted a 3-run home run his last time up as he looks at a strike here to start this plate appearance. Fastball, 0-1. Cubs had a 5-2 lead after 2.5 innings of play. The pitch, low and outside, 1-1. That being held on at first by his former teammate Wilson Contreras. McGreevy takes a peek and now steps off the rubber. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count on Suzuki. Powerful right-handed batter, hits out of a crouch, extends the hands high over home plate. McGreevy puts the ball in the glove, kicks and delivers, and Seiya takes an awkward swing and miss. At a breaking ball, 1-2.
Slower breaking ball there from McGreevy. He had Seiya way out in front.
Once again, McGreevy looks at first, puts the ball in the glove, sets, and fires. In the dirt, nicely blocked by the catcher Pajes. Happ stays at first. 2-2 on Suzuki. Cubs started play tonight, leading the National League Central by 3.5 games over both these Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers. McGreevy takes a deep breath. Now the 2-2. Seiya pulls one off the glove of Arenado along the third base line. His throw to first, not in time. As Suzuki beats it out, Hatt moves to second. That was a rocket off the bat of Suzuki.
And what an effort by Arenado as he almost snares this ball in the air, and then the ball bounces and he picks it up on one hop, throws a strike to first, running basically towards the stands at third base. And it's an excellent effort by one of the best third basemen you'll ever see defensively.
Yeah, just to get any kind of zip on that ball, pretty amazing, falling into foul territory. And that'll be all for the starter McGreevy, as Oliver Marmol is going to make a pitching change here for St. Louis. All opponent pitching changes are sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Visit sloan.com.
Hank Greenberg helped popularize the first baseman's mitt, holding a massive 13-inch pocketed glove. That was quickly banned, reducing the maximum size to 12 inches. Paul Richards also developed a black hole-sized catcher's mitt. This ginormous thing, measuring 42 inches in circumference, was known as Big Bertha, or the Elephant, for its massive size. It was swiftly outlawed as well.
Fifth inning, the Cardinals with an 8-5 lead. PCA is 0 for 2 tonight. Cardinals taking the lead in the fourth inning. They scored 4 times to move ahead. PCA digs in. Left-handed batter against the lefty Mets. And the pitch. Breaking ball inside, 1-0. Matz peers in, gets the sign from his catcher. Pages puts the ball in the glove, sets at the belt, kicks and delivers. Crow Armstrong loops one, shallow right. Coming in is Burleson, and he makes a sliding catch for out number 3. Cubs leave 2, middle 5. It's St. Louis 8 and the Cubs 5 on the score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines.
Well, we certainly served it up over the plate. This is a burger fit for a home run king, the 99 burger in honor of Aaron Judge. They sell a bazillion of these at Yankee Stadium. It looks pretty good. I feel like we passed the test. What about you?
I think so.
Fieldbar takes over here in the bottom half of the 5th inning in St. Louis. Cardinals leading the Cubs 8-5. It's game 2 of a 4-game set between these two rivals. Pitching changes by the Cubs are sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Fieldbar taking over for Jamison Tyone, who went 4 innings, charged with 8 runs on 8 hits. 3 home runs. Lars Nootbaar at the plate. He has one of the home runs for St. Louis tonight, a 2-run shot. And the pitch is low, ball 1.
Now Count's going with one of his top relievers here in this 5th inning, try to keep this game right where it's at. Game at 8-5. A lot of scoring here in this first half of the ball game for both ball clubs.
Nootbaar looks at a strike on the inside corner, 1-1.
3 home runs again tonight for St. Louis. He had 4 last night.
The 1-1. Breaking ball up high, 2-1 the count. Cubs have 1 home run tonight, a 3-run job by Seiya Suzuki in the 3rd. His 21st home run. The pitch low and outside, 3-1. Lefty-lefty matchup. Thielbar works on the third base side of the rubber. The pitch is a called strike in the outer half, 3-2.
A good fastball there, downward tilt by Thielbar right at the knees.
Thielbar works his motion. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. As he gets him with a fastball, Nootbaar retired. The first out brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming.
Excellent pitch. 2 in a row to come back into that at-bat, and he got down behind in the count. All opponents' pitching changes are sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Visit Sloan.com.
Nolan Arenado at the plate. And he looks at a ball low from Thielbar, 1-0. Last of the 5th, 1 away. Cardinals 8, Cubs 5. Arenado, an upright stance from the right side. The pitch. Ground ball pulled to third, fielded on a high hop by Shaw. His throw to first, dug out by Bush. 2 away.
Nice play by Shaw, going hard to his left and back. So he catches this ball, spins, and then throws right away and throws a 2-hopper. He just fires it as hard as he can, knowing he's going to bounce this ball. And he bounces it in this grass, which is cut really low. The ball just kind of 2 hops to Michael Bush, and they get Arenado by a step and a half. Very nice play by Matt Shaw.
Nolan Gorman at the plate takes a ball up high from Thielbar, 1-0. Wednesday, July 2nd is Camp Cubs Night at the ballpark. Enjoy the spirit of summer camp with fun pregame activities at Gallagher Way. As Thielbar deals, Gorman fouls it back. 1-1 the count. Fans who purchase tickets through Cubs.com/specials will receive a limited edition Camp Cubs t-shirt. Man, when you were a kid, you'd have gone all out to do that at Wrigley. The 1-1. Swing and a miss.
So are they actually having a camp at Wrigley? Is that what they're doing?
If I'm reading this correctly, yeah.
Camp Cubs night at the ballpark. Yeah. Okay, yeah, they are. Now, when you were a kid, did you ever go to a camp? Did you ever do that before?
I did day camp. I did not do the sleepaway camp, which is what this sounds like.
Yeah. No.
Still fun, though.
Never went to one.
Baseball was your camp.
Yeah, it's a little busy.
Pitch low and outside, 2-2 on Gorman. I feel like you handled your summers productively as a kid.
They were pretty busy, yeah. I always played on a couple different teams, so we were always playing ball, which was good by me. Best babysitter in the world for my mom.
Jack swing foul ball off the netting to the left by Gorman. Count remains 2-2.
50 cents, a rubber ball, my glove, baseball hat, and some gym shoes. Go, beat it. Yeah.
And you haven't stopped since,
No,
right?
I haven't stopped since, yeah. One of us had a bat somewhere along the line, and that's all we needed till dinner time.
It's like a dream come true for most of the listening audience. Yeah. Time called. Thielbar wants McGuire to come to the mound, and they want to get together on the pitch selection here.
Yeah, I think Thielbar is calling his pitches, and he just wants to make sure. I think this is a little game planning. Veteran lefty on the mound, had a very good year for the Cubs. Great sign for the Chicago Cubs. Thielbar brings a very Just solid veteran presence in that bullpen.
Gorman swings and misses. Strike 3, a slider off the outside. And the Cardinals go down in order here in the fifth inning. And this slow down in action brought to you by Izervay. After 5, St. Louis with an 8-5 lead over the Cubs. On the Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
You can save up for that big trip. Get ready to reward future you with a future flight. Sign up for Rapid Rewards today and redeem your points on any seat, any day, anytime. Only at Southwest. All Rapid Rewards rules and regulations apply and can be found at southwest.com/RR terms.
Hey, Cubs fans, make history with your business in the Village of Bedford Park. To learn more, contact Adam Colopy at ACOLLOPY at villageofbedfordpark.com.
Dansby Swanson is on deck for the Cubs. Who's on Deck is brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit timbertech.com. Pat?
Dansby Swanson will try to crank up a rally, Zach, in this 6th inning. Cubs trail 8-5, a game in which the Cubs led 5-2 at one time. Swanson will take outside from the left-hander. Steven Matz has worked as both a starter and a reliever. Former New York Met, New York native. Here's a line drive into left field, a base hit. Off-speed pitch, it hung, and Dansby lines a single to left. Let's see if that begins a rally.
Now Cubs need to get the bats going, that's for sure. They're down 8-5 here. It's been a lot of long balls for St. Louis. See if the Cubs can reciprocate. Let's see what's on tap here in the 6th inning, sponsored by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Michael Busch with 12 balls in flight this year. That would be home runs.
0 for 2 tonight. Takes inside. It almost nailed him in the lead elbow. Cubs might be looking at that replay to see if it grazed him. See if they might want to challenge that.
I think
Craig Counsell holding up his hand as if to say, wait. Nope, we're not going to.
As a hitter, when you got that elbow guard on, you're not quite sure if it just barely clips you or not. You know it's close.
Fly ball, shallow center, racing in Scott, and he makes the catch. Swanson hustling back to first. Scott has good speed. He was able to close in on that ball. It looked like it might drop for a minute. Broken bat pop fly, caught in shallow center by the center fielder, Scott.
I was watching Wynn, the shortstop, and didn't seem like he had a chance at it. Well, he didn't. But the center fielder, Scott, did a very nice job. He got a great break on that ball. Made the play.
Nico Horner, the batter. Cubs trail by 3, 8-5, 6th inning. Nico takes high for ball 1. Horner with a single and a run scored back in the 3rd. The Cubs got all 5 of their runs in that 3rd inning. A 2-run single by Tucker. Nico hits a high fly ball deep left field. Back toward the wall is Nootbaar. This ball's got a chance, and it is gone. A home run for Nico Horner. His first of the year, and it pulls the Cubs to within 1. Towering drive, fair by only about 25 feet. A leaping try by Nootbaar. I couldn't tell exactly how close he came around to catching that ball, but it cleared the wall for a home run.
He comes pretty close. This is a changeup down and in, and Nico hits it well. Very high, and it hits this wall right over the left field wall down the line. Nootbaar goes up to make a catch and misses it by probably a foot, maybe at the most. But if you're going to get your first one of the year, this is a good time for it as Nico gets the Cubs within a run.
His first, his 32nd and 33rd RBIs. And now it's a 1-run ball game and a lot of baseball to go. Top of inning number 6 with 1 away. Matt Shaw now will try to get on as he represents the tying run. The pitch by Matz drops low, 1-2. Home runs by the Cubs. Those are reasons to celebrate.
Yes, they are. I would agree to that.
And a fastball is high. It's also a reason for us to read the commercial on the home runs. Home runs, another hefty home run. Official trash bag of the Chicago Cubs. Hefty. Strength that's anything but ordinary. Swing and a bouncer foul.
That was a heck of a read. Could you read it about 3 more times tonight?
I'll keep it handy.
Please.
I'll keep it handy right here, ready to go.
That would be great.
2-2 on Matt Shaw. And the pitch on the way to Matt. Swing and a miss, strike 3. High fastball got him. 2 outs. Top of the 6th. The weather gets this warm and it's breezy, Ron. You just know it's good weather for hitting. You almost expect a high-scoring game for both teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And the ball, as we've seen in this series, really carrying to left field.
Reese McGuire, the left-handed batter, takes a strike.
Well, McGuire's got a chance to go deep. He's got 4 home runs and limited at-bats.
Lefty to lefty, the 0-1 pulled foul. Same 2 teams tomorrow night, and the series will wrap up on Thursday. Tomorrow night, Matthew Boyd to start for the Cubs. He's done very well this year. 6-3 with an ERA of 2.8. 2.84 to be exact. And then Shota Imanaga returns on Thursday in the day game. 1:15 in the afternoon. That could be a scorcher.
Yeah, it's going to be very hot. Exciting to see Shota back on the mound for the Cubs.
Little pop fly over toward third, and it's caught by Steven Matz. The pitcher made a running catch as he crossed into foul territory right in front of third base. I think Arenado was in a position to make that catch, but Matz jumped in front of him and made the play instead. The Cubs score twice on the home run by Nico Horner. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning.
You've been laying the groundwork for a dynamic season, Cancer, and now you're finally ready to blow everyone's minds. You're practically gliding across the field as you catch every ball hit your way. It's your turn to bask in the wild adoration of the fans as you round the bases and score another run.
Well, we certainly served it up over the plate. This is a burger fit for a home run king, the 99 burger in honor of Aaron Judge. They sell a bazillion of these at Yankee Stadium. It looks pretty good. I feel like we passed the test. What about you?
I think so.
Same price. The same price. Schedule your free fitting at Suits2020.com.
The Out-of-Town Scoreboard is sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app now and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Top of the 7th in Milwaukee. The Brewers on top of the Pirates 7-3. Joey Ortiz has gone deep twice. And top of the 6th in Houston. The Phillies are leading the the Phillies and the Astros are scoreless. Ranger Suarez, a no-hitter through 5 for Philadelphia. Pat?
Okay, Zach, here it's 8-7 St. Louis. Cardinals batting in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pedro Pages facing the new right-hander, Chris Flexen. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fastball is high. Flexen has just done great work out of the Cub bullpen. 13 games, 4 wins, no losses, a glittering ERA of 0.78. And the next pitch, and that's a strike. That's 2 earned runs in 23 innings of work. 2 balls and a strike on the right-handed batting Pages. Breaking ball in for a call, strike 2. Still hot and humid. The wind has backed off a little bit, but I think any ball hit in the air to left or center should get some carry. 86 degrees. And the 2-2, late swing on an inside fastball fouled away.
I was looking at his bat going, I think I need to turn the bat around.
Might need a lighter stick.
Yeah, that one hit him just above the thumb.
Here comes the 2-2 on the way from Flexen. Check swing, did he go? No swing. Ramon de Jesus made that call, the first base umpire.
Get another look here, and he's right. That was a good call. Close, but good call.
Flexen ready for the payoff pitch. Pop fly right side, foul over near the stands is McGuire. No play for Reese, and we'll do it again. Victor Scott on deck, and then Brendan Donovan. Cardinals jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Cubs got 5 in the third to take a 5-2 lead. 2-run single by Tucker, 3-run homer by Suzuki. Cardinals then scored 2 in the bottom of the third and 4 in the fourth. Fly ball to right toward the line, should be routine for Tucker. Makes the catch, only about 10 feet off the line. In medium deep right field, and that's going to be out number 1. First out in the inning. Sponsored by Xfinity, because the Wi-Fi is booming.
Let's see if Flexen can just get through this inning and another maybe, but keep the Cubs right here where they're at. He's done a very good job of that, as you mentioned, Pat.
Scott bounces one foul.
This is one of those ball games where you just know it's going to keep going back and forth, right?
Tough night to pitch. Good night to hit. And the 0-1. Scott swings and misses.
A good high gas there from Flexen.
One away, base is empty. A smallish crowd looking on here at Busch Stadium. And now the 0-2 pitch on the way. A little bit low. Will get to a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. St. Louis winning the opener last night 8-2. Ripped on the ground at first, down on one knee. Busch gloves it, gets up, feeds Flexen coming over with an underhand toss, and that is out number 2.
Good pitch, get a little too hopper, hit sharply but right at Michael at first. So 2 quick outs here in the 6th.
Here's Brendan Donovan. Donovan 1 for 3 with a single. He's had some good at-bats in this series, though, hitting the ball hard. Homered last night. And he takes an off-speed pitch in there for a strike.
Donovan hitting just under .310 as a leadoff guy for this Cardinals team to start this ball game, and he's 1 for 3 now, 2 for 4.
Rips a base hit into right, a sharp ground ball between Busch and Horner. He's had some good strokes.
Yep, he is swinging the bat well, that's for sure.
Donovan at first, 2 down. Mason Wynn, the batter. Wynn has been their big man tonight. 2-run homer in the third, 2-run double in the fourth. Right-handed hitter with a slightly open stance, feet very close together. And Wynn will take a strike from Flexen. This might be a time where Donovan might think about running.
Yeah, I would see that. 1-run ball game now.
He's not going, and the pitch taken inside. Didn't miss by much. 1-1. These Cardinals will be at Wrigley next weekend. Get your tickets at CUBS.com. Cleveland in for 3 and St. Louis in for 3. Off-speed pitch high.
High enough over the head of Wynn. It's a breaking ball that kind of slipped out of the hand of Flexen and not close.
Right-hander to right-hander, the 2-1. Fly ball, pop fly really, shallow center. Swanson out. Carl Armstrong in. Horner will make the catch, and that ends the inning. Wynn pops out to the Cubs second baseman. We go to the 7th inning. It's the Cardinals 8, the Cubs.
I'm Jonathan Mayo, and for more than 20 years, I've traced the path of baseball's rising stars, navigating the back roads of the national pastime and basking in the glow of small-town America's spirit, where the team is woven into the fabric of everyday life, where it's more than just a game. It's a celebration of the people, the traditions, and the culture that give these places their soul. This is Grassroots.
Right now. Don't hesitate. Call the 8s, 312-888-8888.
Getting set for the top of the 7th in St. Louis. Cardinals 8, Cubs 7. The 7th inning is sponsored by the new Volvo XC90, designed for life. Pat?
Jojo Romero, the new left-handed pitcher for the Cardinals, Zach. As we go to the 7th inning, top of the order, Ian Happ will try to crank up a rally. Cubs are down by 1, 8-7. Happ 1 for 2 with a walk. He's been on twice with that walk and a single. Right now, he just wants to get on base to get something started for the Cubs, who trail by a run. The lefty Romero fires. Wrapped on the ground of the hole at short, scooped up by Wynn. The toss over in time. Out number 1.
And we're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ Broadcast Group, proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. Romero got in on Happ on that one. A little too hopper to short in the hole. And I always look at Wynn, and boy, he does have some kind of throwing arm. He just kind of flicks the ball across the diamond, and it great carry on his throw from short.
Tucker normally hangs in there pretty well against lefties as Romero misses low and away. Tucker with a couple of hits. Drove in 2 with a 3rd inning single. And now Tucker takes outside. Okay, 2-0. This might be the pitch to drive right here.
Yeah, be aggressive. Cubs down by a run. Both teams with 9 hits in the ball game.
Romero ready and fires. It's low for ball 3. Green light or not?
I would say yes. You know, you got a guy at home plate who does as good at not swinging at pitches out of the zone as anybody in baseball.
Now the 3-0 on the way to Tucker. Taken for ball 4. Cubs have a man on. That's the tying run and the potential go-ahead run now at the plate. Seiya Suzuki, and he already has a 3-run homer in this game.
That's not what the Cardinals were hoping for. There's a 4-pitch walk to the lefty on left, even though Tucker does, as you said, a very good job hitting left-handers.
Tucker's a good base runner, occasional base stealer as he takes his lead. And Seiya takes a strike. Boy, there's a huge hole on the right side of the diamond. Donovan way over near second. Contreras holding the runner on. There's a 90-foot gap between the first and second baseman in this spot. Here's the 0-1. Fastball, strike 2 call.
Oh, wow. Gave him the first pitch, was a breaking ball away off the plate by about 4 inches, and now he gives him the inside pitch that's borderline, and that's like hitting a plate and a half worth of strikes. That's almost impossible.
Seiya didn't like the call. He's behind in the count now, 0-2. Cubs trail 8-7. And Seiya takes in the dirt. Good block by the catcher. Pages doing the catching for the second straight game. Short lead at first by Tucker. He's the tying run. And now Seiya pokes it foul off to the right, out of play. Walks by Cubs batters. Sponsored by It'sNotAGameIllinois.com. Remember, a walk is free, a DUI is not. Drive sober or get pulled over. Romero ready for the 1-2 pitch. Seiya takes high, a fastball, 2-2.
Well, now you think you'd get something pretty good to hit in the zone. See if Seiya gets something he can do something with there on 2-2. Yeah.
He rips one fair down the left field line. Left field line bounces off the sidewall. Tucker has to hustle going to third safely, and Seiya has to hold with a single. He hit a smash just fair inside third. It hit that sidewall and then caromed out into shallow left field. Tucker read the play properly and streaked into third. Seiya had to hold at first with a loud single.
Yeah, this ball scorched down the left field line. Yeah, in most ballparks, this is at least a double, but that side wall, ball caromed back, and Wynn had to go out and make a play. If Arenado is standing at the bag at third, they got to play at third base. The throw came to him, but he was not at the bag.
So the tying run now with one away at third, the go-ahead run at first. Pete Crow Armstrong, the batter, and he would love to atone for forgetting how many outs there were on defense back in the 4th inning. Infield stays back. You've got lefty against lefty. And the pitch by Romero. Fastball, strike, 0-1.
That pitch wasn't a strike. That pitch was well up out of the zone.
Opponent's pitching changes. Brought to you by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs. The next pitch, a bunt. It's out in front of the plate. The throw will go to first base in time. Holding at third, Tucker. Pete Crow Armstrong trying to bunt for a base hit. Safe at second is Suzuki. Tucker did not try to score on the play. Pete trying to bunt for a base hit is thrown out at first for the second out in the inning, and now men at second and third. And let's see if the Cardinals make a pitching change. I believe they will. But opposing pitching changes sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Visit Sloan.com. That'll be all for Romero. And we'll be back with more. The Cubs trail by a run. They have men at second and third, 2 down in the 7th inning. So potential drama when we come back on The Score. And
All right, so here's the Mets home jersey. To me, growing up in New York, also a very iconic jersey. The blue pinstripes that represented the Dodgers. Got the orange outline, which represented the Giants, which are the 2 teams that left New York. And then subsequently the Mets were created. You know, my parents were Mets fans growing up, and this was the jersey that I also dreamed of wearing.
Ninth, George Springer with a grand slam. Braves 6, Mets 3, top of the 8th. Yankees and Reds tied at 3 in the last of the 9th. After 8, the Rays on top of the Royals, 5-0. Mariners and Twins tied at 5 in the top of the 8th pack.
Zach, the new right-hander for St. Louis, Phil Maton. Maton to face Dansby Swanson. Tying run at third, go-ahead run at second. Top of inning number 7 with 2 down. So a big spot in this ball game right now. Let's see if Dansby can come through. Right-hander to right-hander, first pitch. And that's in there for a strike. Tucker, the runner at third. Suzuki, the runner at second. Maton working out of the stretch, the big right-hander ready. And deals. Swanson hits a pop fly down the right field line toward foul territory as Burleson over near the stands reaches into the netting. Did he make the catch? I believe he did make the catch. As he jumped into the netting, the Cubs might challenge that call, thinking the ball hit the netting before he caught it. And let's see if Craig Counsell, nope, they're not going to challenge it. Very nice catch by the right fielder Burleson, jumping into the netting in foul territory and holding on to it down the right field line. Disappointing inning for the Cubs. They leave 2. We go to the left.
Here we are, Arlington, Texas. This is the Grand Slam burger. So 2 patties, brisket, caramelized onion, American cheese, ranch aioli or ranch mayo, if you will.
Oh yeah, we're in Texas.
Yeah.
It's something that you definitely want to take a picture of and just put on the gram. I took a bite of it, but it still looks dope.
It's a burger that looks great, but also delicious.
Come see everything that New Lenox has to offer. Go to newlenox.net today and start the adventure. New Lenox, it's extraordinary.
A reminder that all reviews in this game are sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. A second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine. Pat?
Watching the replay, it was a very nice catch and a clean catch by Burleson to end the top of this inning. Here's the drive into center on the first pitch, caught by Pete Crow Armstrong, a line drive toward left center. Pete had Burleson played perfectly and made the catch. One pitch, one away. And Wilson Contreras batting. St. Louis on top 8-7. A lot of action in this game, Ron.
Whoa. Gotta pay attention. Balls are flying around the yard. Guys are making catches in the netting.
Contreras takes a strike. First out in the inning, brought to you by Xfinity, because the Wi-Fi is booming. Cubs out hitting St. Louis 10-9. Strike 2 called to Contreras. It's been a clean game in the regard that neither team has committed an error, despite all the action. The 0-2 bounced to third, foul. We'll do it again. Lights have taken full effect here in St. Louis.
I would say no physical errors, but there's been some mental errors in this ball game by both ball clubs.
And the 0-2 from Drew Pomeranz. Time had been called, no pitch. Cubs pitching changes. As the big left-hander Pomeranz delivers 0-2, the ball popped up, playable right side for Bush. He's going to make an easy catch in shallow right, and Contreras is out number 2. Pitching changes by the Cubs, sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. And here's Lars Nootbaar.
Well, Pomeranz has done a very good job for the Cubs this year. Cubs really need him to throw up a goose egg here in this inning.
I think he just did, Ron. Yep. A ground ball to short. Swanson throws him out. Excellent job by Pomeranz. Score that one 6-3. The Cardinals go 1-2-3. It's on to inning number 8. St. Louis 8, Cubs 7 on the score.
Suits2020.com.
8-7 Cardinals here, top of the 8th inning. This 8th inning is sponsored by Cars for Kids. 877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars of the K. To donate your car today, Patrick.
Michael Bush leading it off, and he'll take a fastball strike from Phil Maton. Maton got the final out in the 7th inning, retiring Dansby Swanson on the foul fly ball to right. Bush nothing for 3 as Michael waits, checks and takes high for a ball. It's 1-1. Cardinals trying to make it 2 in a row. Cubs trying to get even in the series. Cubs led St. Louis by 3.5 at the start of the game. Now the 1-1. Called strike to Bush at the knees. 1-2.
A little backdoor breaking ball ended up coming back to the middle of the plate, but it was, as you said, right at the knees, bottom of the zone.
Bush trying to crank up a Cubs rally here in the 8th inning. Swings and misses, strike 3. Off-speed pitch got him, 1 away. Let's pause 10 for ID. This is The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk in the morning on the Mully and Haw Show, 5:30 to 10 on 670 The Score, WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Nico Horner homered his last time up, his first home run of the year. He takes outside for a ball. Nico, one of the best base runners. If he gets on, he might think about stealing a bag in a spot like this. Now the 1-0 pitch from Maton. Nico hits it foul out of play right side. Walks to Cubs batters. Sponsored by It'sNotAGameIllinois.com. Remember, a walk is free, a DUI is not. Drive sober or get pulled over. And the 1-1. Off the inside corner. Breaking ball. Cardinals making a pitching change. Lots of pitching changes on both sides tonight. Opponents changes sponsored by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Cubs. Nico hits a ground ball, base hit left field. It's a 1-out single. Nico takes the big turn. Okay, is he running? What's the plan, Ron?
I would say yes, absolutely. That shot at the plate, you'd probably try. Hopefully Shaw's going to get something he can shoot the other way and shoot that hole on the right side. Yeah, and Cubs could get some movement here. That'd be great. Nico with 3 hits in the ballgame, 2 singles, and a home run. 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. So a very nice night for Nico with 3 hits.
Matt Shaw batting. Nico off to his lead at first. The set by Maton. He's not running. First pitch strike.
Matty taking a lot of pitches in this game today. A lot of fastballs for strikes.
Shaw does have a hit and 3 at-bats. 1 away, 8th inning. Cubs down by a run. Nico not running. The pitch taken high for ball 1. Cardinal bullpen is quiet. Cubs have a right-hander throwing and a left-hander, I believe, as well. We'll identify them momentarily. And the pitch. Swing and a miss by Matt Shaw. Took a big cut, came up empty. It's 1-2.
I think the Cubs have Presley, a right-hander, and Keller, a right-hander, warming up.
Toss to first. Nico dives back in. I know we have been given the attendance figure. Here it is. 29,545. Still a disappointing crowd. There goes Nico. The pitch inside. Throw to second base. Not in time. And a great play by Donovan to save a bad throw. I thought that was going to end up in shallow right center. Nico, in that case, would have advanced to third almost certainly. Donovan made an incredible stop on a low, bad throw.
It's a very, very difficult play for Donovan because he's coming to the bag from the second base position, and so he's running one way, and then the ball's thrown back behind him. Now he's got to dive back from where he came from and avoid Nico Horner, who's diving into the bag, and he kept that ball in front of him. That was an excellent play.
Stolen bases by the Cubs. Another Cubs steal. Steals are powered by a Toro tire. Nico now in scoring position. He is the tying run. Shaw waiting for the 2-2. And swings and misses. Strike 3. 2 down. And is there going to be a pinch batter? I believe there is.
I think that's going to be Kelly pinch hitting for McGuire.
McGuire leaves the game. Carson Kelly. Carson's got 9 homers, 26 runs batted in. 2 down, 8th inning, tying run. Nico Horner down at second base. Maton to Carson Kelly. Swing and a miss. Maton throwing some effective breaking balls.
Yeah, he's got a good hook tonight, that's for sure. That's the pitch he threw to Shaw to strike him out.
Horner ready to run on contact. Roller out to short, scooped up by Wynn. He'll throw to first in time. And that ends the inning. Cubs don't score, leave 1. Middle of inning number 8. Cardinals 8, Cubs 7. This is the score, and the Southwest Airlines Cubs.
Manín, yo no hago esta jugada, Manín. ¡Wow!
To be in, the middle of New York to display a card like this is really such a big part of the Fanatics mission. We think about how do we create new experiences. Now we get the opportunity to put incredible Holy Grail cards in front of tens of thousands, if not millions of new people. It's not just about collectors today, but also about how do we bring new collectors into the space as well. It's really what we do it all for.
A reminder to make your Chicago Cubs players all-stars. Visit Cubs.com/all-star to cast your 2025 Pro Spirit MLB All-Star Ballot daily.
Let's see how we did in the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. It looks like Ron Coomer was the closest. The actual figure, 29,545. Ron guessed 27,500, and that was the closest of the gang up here. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Ryan Presley, the new Cubs hurler, facing Nolan Arenado, veteran against veteran. First pitch wrapped on the ground to the hole at short, backhanded by Swanson, throws to first to get him. One down.
A good start for Presley here in the 8th. Hardest working player of the game, brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. Hardest working player of the game. How about all the guys that are catching today? It's been 3 of them.
First out sponsored by Xfinity, where the Wi-Fi is booming. Nolan Gorman checks in. Gorman hits a drive into left center. That's going to be a base hit. Suzuki gloves it on one hop and gets it back in. Time to take a little look at this date in baseball history, brought to you by villageofbedfordpark.com. Now's the time to make history for your business in Bedford Park. Jackie Robinson, 1947, stole home. It was the first of 19 times he would steal home in his career. Presley now working on the right-handed batting Pages.
Now, is that the record, right? Does he have the record for steals of home?
Certainly within the last 100 years, I would say yes. I think possibly long ago, somebody might have had more. And at one time, Ron, I was curious whether all 19 were the daring dash of leading at third and trying to time when the pitcher was going to deliver the ball and then racing to home and trying to beat the throw, or were they the back end of a double steal?
Right.
And I asked Vin Scully one time, because Vinny saw basically his whole career. He said all of them were the daring dash variety.
Think of that.
So he would just dance off the bag, and it's a risky play. It's a dangerous play physically, with a guy swinging a bat up there and you're ready to slide into that. Pages waiting. Bouncer toward third and foul. 1955, you know this guy, knew him. The Senators had an 18-year-old rookie third baseman by the name of Harmon Killebrew. He hit the first home run of his career. He would go on to finish his 22-year Hall of Fame career with 573 home runs.
Wow.
And what a nice man he was. Harmon Killebrew.
One of my all-time favorites. Harmon, just a great, great gentleman. He did a unique thing for all the young guys that came through the Twins organization.
Pages bounces one to short. Swanson to second, one. Horner to first, double play, Ron.
He taught you and forced you to sign the baseballs legibly. Harmon had one of the great autographs in all of baseball.
The double play ends the inning. The Cubs need to rally. We go to the ninth. It's the Cardinals.
chicken, fish, or meat to achieve perfection. Order one now on ChefIQ.com. That's ChefIQ.com.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Pat?
We have reached the moment of truth, the ninth inning. Ninth inning is brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. Let's see if the Cubs can rally. They're down by a run. Ian Happ facing Ryan Helsley, a hard-throwing right-hander. First pitch to Ian, swing and a miss. Helsley does have 14 saves, but he has squandered 5 other chances. 3 wins, no losses. His ERA 3.7. Happ is 1 for 3 in the game with a walk. And Ian takes low and away. What's the plan against Helsley?
Well, I think you got to be prepared for his fastball. He's throwing at 100 miles an hour. But his fastball is very straight and throws a lot of pitches in the middle of the plate. You just got to be prepared for the fastball velocity.
Happ swings and misses. The double play that ended the 8th inning, sponsored by Nissan. Experience the thrill at NissanUSA.com. Cardinals lead by a run. Happ, Tucker, and Suzuki batting here in the ninth. Happ hits a ground ball right side, fielded by Contreras. Underhand feed to the pitcher in time, and that's out number 1.
That's really a play. If Contreras just goes to the bag, it's a routine out. But he ventures way off. He's playing no doubles down the line. And made that a much tougher play, but made the play. So you give him that. Meat of the order. Cubs got the meat of the order here in the ninth. Presented by Chef IQ. Since never under or overcook your food again. Purchase at ChefIQ.com.
Kyle Tucker, the batter. He'll take low. 29,545 are here. Tucker has been on 3 times. Drove in 2 with a single in the 3rd. Trying to get a hold of one. And the pitch. Line to center, a base hit. Over toward right center. Picking it up is Scott. And the Cubs have the tying run on with 1 away in the 9th inning. And the batter is Suzuki.
Boy, and Tuck took this 100-mile-an-hour fastball away and just hammered it back through the middle. That was an absolute bullet.
Toast of the game brought to you by Benny's Beverage Depot. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Who do you like, Ron?
How about the guy at home plate? And boy, would this be a way to cap off the toast of the game by doing some damage right here. Seiya Suzuki, 3 hits, a 3-run homer in this game.
He takes down low. Tucker, a very good base runner and a good base stealer.
Yeah, this would be a chance to take a base. Helsley, I don't believe very quick to the plate, so you could definitely take a bag.
The pitch to Seiya is a strike.
Wow, that time he slide stepped on Tucker. So that was very quick to the plate.
They are aware, Ron, that Tucker is 18 out of 19 stealing bags this year.
Yeah, that's very rare you see a closer slide step to the plate.
Cubs down by a run, 9th inning. Seiya swings and misses. Breaking ball. 1-2. Pete Crow Armstrong is on deck. That had a lot of sharp downward bite to it, that last pitch. Still very hot in St. Louis. It was 93 at game time. 8-7 Cardinals in the ninth. Time called as Helsley wasn't quite ready. Post-game show to follow with Zach Zaidman. Suzuki takes outside. Didn't miss by much.
Up and away breaking ball. Did not get back to the strike zone. A little high and might have been just a touch outside.
Scott very deep in center. In fact, all three outfielders a little deeper than normal. Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Seiya out in front of an off-speed pitch. And the Cubs are down to their last chance. Pete Crow Armstrong stepping in. He's got 21 home runs. Fans making a lot of noise in St. Louis. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. The bat goes flying into the Cardinal dugout. Pete lost the grip on the bat as he finished his follow-through. It just sailed right over his right shoulder. And he's going to use a new bat.
Yeah, after that one clanking around in that camera well area, you know, it hits pipes and concrete. I would not want to use that bat again. I would think that one could be broke.
The outfield very deep. The right fielder Burleson only 10 feet shy of the track. 2 down, ninth inning. Cubs down by a run. Swinging a line drive, base hit, right center. Tucker around second, going to third. The throw comes in. Holding at third is Tucker on a single by Pete Crow Armstrong. So now the tying run 90 feet away. The go-ahead run on base at first. Dansby Swanson due up.
Paje sets up for a fastball, but wants this ball well up above the zone. Helsley throws this ball right down the middle, and Pete smokes this ball in the right center. Now, if you're Tucker at third, you've got to be prepared to try to score on a breaking ball in the dirt. Helsley has thrown quite a few pitches already short of home plate.
Dansby Swanson batting. Tying run at third. The pitch, check swing, it's high. Now Crow Armstrong at first. Do you see him running here?
I think he's trying to get a jump, yes. Helsley, though, with Tucker at first, slide stepped to second base. I don't think, though, the Cardinals would throw through to second base. I think they would hold the ball at the plate.
Just a typical Cubs-Cardinals game. That's what this is. So many times it goes right down to the last play when these two teams meet. The second baseman Donovan way over near the bag. A huge hole on the right side. Swanson tonight with a single in 4 trips. Crow Armstrong running. The pitch low. Stolen base. Uncontested stolen base. So the plot thickens. Now a base hit could give the Cubs the lead. It's 2-0 on Swanson.
Yeah, and just like we said, you didn't think they were going to throw through and take the risk and giving the Cubs a chance to score on that. Now a base hit will give the Cubs a lead for sure.
The 2-0. Fouled away, off to the right and out of play. Helsley a very hard thrower. Helsley with a brand new ball. Works over on the right side, the first base side of the rubber. Tying run at third, go-ahead run at second. Here's the 2-1. Swinging a big chop toward third, charging Arenado, bare hands it, and throws to first in time. Ball game over. Arenado bare-handing that ground ball. The runner, Pete Crow Armstrong, did not distract him. Arenado barehanded it, rifled it to first, getting Swanson by half a step, and the ball game is over. The Cardinals make it 2 in a row as they have beaten the Cubs by a score of 8-7.
Now, as you were mentioning throughout the game, a typical Cubs-Cardinals game, and we mentioned this in the middle of the ball game. Star players have to make plays and do something special in big games. Arenado might be the only third baseman in the game right now that makes that play where he comes in on a chopper, bare hands it waist high.